everybody. Joleen Lunzer!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Married to Bravo with Joleen and Nana. We are back, baby, to talk all about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12, Episode 20, and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 3, Episode 1, the premiere, Nana.
It was so good.
We are moving and shaking.
Honey,
We're almost
so
done
good.
with Beverly Hills, and then we're on to Salt Lake. Well, then we'll just be on Salt Lake City, but right now we're covering both of them. But that's crazy.
It is crazy, and I know, you're busy because you're just going all the time. But today I was watching the Salt Lake City over again. I was watching it last night, and it was just so good. I forgot how good it was. I miss those characters.
I do too. I really do like Salt Lake City. So hopefully this season is good because I was looking forward to it. But before we get started, make sure you guys smash that like. If you can share this out on your social media, that would be amazing. Say these ladies are talking Bravo. Come join them. Let's set a like goal for 200. Let's set a really low like goal. We can get 200, right, Nana?
I was thinking 210, but if you just want to go 200, that's up to you.
Okay, let's do 210 for Nana. We'll do 210 in the house. So mods, thank you so much. If you don't mind keeping us up to date on our like count. So smash it, smash it, smash it. If you want to support the channel, you know the drill. It's the YouTube things. Like, subscribe. You can send a super chat when we're live. You can send a super thanks if you're watching the video later. We also have a YouTube membership and Patreon, and follow us on social media at Joleen Lunzer on all of the stuff, and at Married to Bravo as well on Instagram.
I just can't believe it. Tomorrow is October 1st already. Isn't that unbelievable?
Spooky season.
I know this is your
season.
And I'm looking so forward to coming down to visit because you and I can decorate and stuff. And I saw what you did with your tree so far, but I just want to be part of it.
Even more done, even more.
Oh, I want to be part of it.
Hopefully I'm going to finish it this weekend, but we'll still have more to do. Producer Tilly is here.
Hi, Tilly.
No worries, no worries. Yes, DGF is going to pause Dancing with the Stars for us. I feel so, that's so nice of you.
Thank you. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, cha-cha-cha.
Nana's cha-cha-cha, and she's so excited. Okay, so let's get a little life update from Nana, then we will get into, because we got to recap these two franchises now, but we haven't talked to Nana for a while, and as you guys know, Nana is the star of this show, and she's been traveling, and then we'll get into our recap and Nana notes. So if you're new here, this is kind of how we roll.
This is how we roll. If you really came in to find out what's going on in the show, sorry. Anyway,
it'll be a minute because Nana likes to share her life and people like to hear from her.
Well,
Natalie Chell did get some rest. Chell and I went live last night.
I saw it.
Have you ever seen Chell so opinionated?
Well, I thought, who put a nickel in him? Holy God. I went, yeah. He's getting sassy like us.
He is getting very sassy. He does not like these reality shows. I think I'll give him he's actually, I think, sleeping right now.
Well, let's let him sleep. Let's let him sleep.
I was like, people were leaving comments. Like I had to delete them. They were like, looks like a divorce is coming soon. Like, people are very rude.
Oh,
I know, but it's the internet. It's the internet. Listen.
Well, that's true. Okay, I got it. I guess, everybody can be rude. Let's talk about my rudeness. I went up north with my girlfriends, and we were on our way up there, and we started talking about the podcasts. Okay, we didn't. I did. Okay.
You started talking about our podcast to your friends during Girls Weekend.
Yes, we're just driving. We're driving, and two of them in the car watch it all the time. Oops, I'm sorry.
Nana, you're so popular. Come on, we need to be professional.
I'm sorry. I thought this is a very professional. I gotta take this call. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, I was gonna be like, what are these the weirdo blogger fights I'm watching? Come on, Nana.
Okay. So we're in the car and we're driving up and one of the gals said, "Oh, I watch you guys all the time. You guys are just so funny." And I says, "Thanks. I really appreciate that." Well, I'm not going to name names because I can't name names on this.
With?
Well, I'm just not going to name names. Okay. So, all right. So I said,
name names. Did they tell you not to?
Well, I don't want to because just in case
who she voted for or where she buried the body. It's just she listens to our show.
No, okay. Well, Jill said it. Jill says,
yeah,
okay.
We promote
I know we do, but I just don't want to.
Jilly G Designs. Nana
Jilly
is
G Designs. All right.
Cryptic.
Sorry, I am getting cryptic. I'm trying to make it more of a mystery.
I can't say her name. I'm like, you out stuff about your friends on this show all the time. We talk shit. Like, what are you talking about? You can't. That's a nice thing. She watches us. You're like, I can't mention her. We've only mentioned her wonderful Etsy shop like 100 times.
I am so sorry, but yeah, Jill watches it, and then Billy was saying,
Nana.
And then Billy was saying, she watches it and stuff, and and I says, I really appreciate that, and then I'll just say her name, and then Colleen comes back with,
he's never watched us.
Colleen comes back with, I can't get that on mine. And I said,
she doesn't know how.
And I said, stop right there. And I turned around because I was in the front seat because I always call shotgun. So I turned around and I says, if you cared enough to watch me, you would find it. And then I turned and I started.
Jeez, Nana.
I was staring straight ahead and I thought,
this is the beginning of the trip.
This is how you're going to start it out, Eileen.
And also, Colleen has been very good. She always would come to my comedy shows. And
absolutely
she's very supportive. So
I just
technology. She just doesn't get it.
Technologically
with YouTube, Nana's naming names. We can't talk about supporters, but we can talk about our non-supporters.
You can get on. There's no, it's not a secret.
Colleen, Nana is hating.
You can go to YouTube, can't you? I'm sorry. Just go to YouTube. It's not that hard. It really is. And if I can do it, of course, you walk me through everything. But I just got a little bit, I was getting a little, I about had, I just thought to myself, you know what? I've heard this over and over
now because
she does. Welcome.
Not gonna like this.
We've only done this about 5 years, 6 years, but anyway. So
saying you told us producer Linda kissed your husband on your wedding day, but you won't out who watches you, and you just call out Colleen. You just called out Colleen.
I am so sorry. I did. I don't usually do that. Usually I go, oh, well, you'll get it someday, blah, blah. But I had heard enough of that and I didn't want to hear it anymore. And I just wanted to start it out clean, just a clean slate and just say, if you cared enough about me, you'd find it. And it was really kind of quiet in the car for a little bit until we stopped to get donuts. So anyway.
Well, you know what? I am proud of you for being honest with your feelings. I think that's really important to do.
Maybe that wasn't the time.
Everybody, but
I just, I was just kind of like, it hurt my feelings. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and people could tell my feelings were hurt by that. But then I thought to myself, oh, well, then she says, oh, where did you get that? Where'd you get that? I says, I got it from people. They send me things, doing a podcast. They said they give you gifts. And now all of a sudden we're getting interested. Okay, so
you have to tell them I am very famous. My name is Nana. I have a
You don't realize just how damn famous I am.
Brian Christopher, we're on a first name basis. I mean, I call him Brian Christopher, but he calls me Nana. So you bitches need to get it together because I am on another level that you'll never understand unless you learn how to log into YouTube. You just need to tell your friends.
And I am so sorry. But she says, who is Brian Christopher?
She doesn't even know Brian. Well, how's she going to know us then? I mean,
that's what I said. I said, oh, come on. Because then we were watching TV one night and I said,
I
want to get Brian Christopher up. It's really fun to see it. It's when I was up at Hinckley and I says, we can get it up on the screen here. Mm-hmm. Then she said she already watched it.
Oh my God, you guys are not friends anymore. So she was like,
I had a tough time with that.
And then
who is Brian Christopher? And then said, let's bring it up. I've already seen that. Well, then that's who Brian Christopher is. You know what? You get to be 60. I'm going to be 68 in, I don't know, really short period of time. We're talking 31, 41, 51, about 50 days. Okay. 50 days, I'm going to be 68, and I am done with this,
She's
you know,
pissed.
mealy mouth crap. I'm just
What's a
laying
mealy
it
mouth?
out there. Mealy mouth.
Mealy?
It's an old saying, mealy mouth. That means that you just can't spit it out. You trying to be too nice to everybody. Screw that. Indiana Jewel. Jules, thank you. $9.99. The cat ears are back. Oh, so cute. Loved your pictures from your trip, Nana. Thank you. Jolene, did Chell get his nap? Just caught up on last night's live.
I told you. And Chell, this morning he woke me up, and because he stays up later, and he was like, "Hey," and I was like, he goes, "I read the comments. There's nothing bad." I go, "I had to delete a bunch. They said we were headed for divorce." So, I mean, I think he's aware, but I think everyone's aware. The fact that everybody's asking. That's what happens when you share a lot online.
I'm telling you,
yes.
People
are going to have a bad day.
They're invested in your feelings.
Yes.
They're invested in your feelings.
And I appreciate that.
And Chell was just throwing it out there last night, and I was just laughing. I thought it was hilarious, but
he was questioning me. He was questioning Joel's.
I kept looking around going, "Where's the real Chell?" Well, the real Chell, please stand up.
Then we went, we pretty soon after that, we were in the bedroom. We were just talking, and then he passes out. So we'll get another update from Joe maybe in a couple years. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think
he's gonna jump on right away. I just got that feeling. Maybe it's me.
And a lot of people liked his rant. It was like a Nana rant.
Well, sometimes you just have to do that, you guys.
I mean, I rant all the time. So.
You can be as nice as the next guy. And if Colleen's on tonight, good. Welcome. It's time.
Oh my God.
Well, it is. It is time because, you
are fighting people on the internet. You and your friends are now going to get online, start live streaming, and I'm going to stop following those trashy people. I'm going to start following you and your friends.
I have feelings too. And I'm writing a book. Nana has feelings too. So watch my stuff. Watch my smoke.
It was probably all a blur. Yeah, he had a Kathy Hilton filter. He just wanted to be done within a half hour to 40 minutes. Just like Kathy wanted them to play Michael Jackson and do the conga.
Okay, can I ask something about that with that, Kathy?
Yeah.
Let's just go to that real quick.
Let's get into it.
Why is asking to play Michael Jackson's Billie Jean a bad thing? Because it's so old school? Because there's controversy surrounding his name?
Yeah, I think it's because of that, because there was another documentary that came out by Wade. He was a dancer, he was a backup dancer for Britney Spears, I think. And then he came out with something on HBO, and so did some other guys. Hey, Chow, we're just talking about you. No, people were asking if you got a nap. I said you got a nap because last night. What happened? He doesn't remember what happened. He said, "What happened?" Because you were sleepy. He's walking like this. But I think it's because of that, Nana.
I didn't know. I kind of assumed that's what it was. Because Crystal kind of went like, well, everyone should know that, kind of. She was kind of, what's her name? Crystal Merkinoff. What is her name?
Minkoff?
Yeah.
Merkin? I think the Merkin is the piece that you get for your privates. Like to pay for your badge.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that this weekend with the girls.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, Nana has feelings too. Yes, absolutely. And
so that's what she was talking about. I think that's what Crystal's referring to. And so here's the thing with the Kathy Hilton note, so let's just get right into, I think I got a couple of screenshots I can share here.
Okay, let's see. I got to get in my Beverly Hills. Okay.
And it's Silence is Golden. And then after that, we'll talk about Salt Lake City. So this is the episode. What is the episode description? Do you have that down? Because I think I have it somewhere.
I don't, but I should have. I know the Silence is Golden. That's a 1968. It's a song. I don't know who did it.
How wonderful.
Silence is golden, golden. Do, 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 do. I don't know who does it though. It was a nice song. I want to say 60. I think I was in 8th grade then.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
here is the episode description from Bravo.
Okay, thank you.
Erika throws a pop-up product launch. Dorit and Crystal question old friendships. Erika and Sutton build a new connection. Kathy faces Kyle to apologize. Dun, dun, dun. I think one of my favorite parts of this episode was when Kathy
I
showed up
already
at
know.
Kyle's house and she picked the damn flower and gave her own flower from her garden. And then on the way out, she was like, "Oh, this is nice." I was like, "That's what Nana would do." We would have some kind of family trauma. And Nana always, anytime we have like fights in our family or someone's mad at someone else or someone's calling someone else out on something, Nana's like, "Would someone like a cup of, I'd like a coffee. God, do you guys, it looks cold outside." And I'm like, we are talking about something more serious. And you're like, "God, I'm a little chilled. I'll be right back. Does anyone need a blanket? You want some
You want a little
cream?
wrap? You want some hot
Little wrap?
chocolate?
I think I left the dryer on." "No, Nana, we can hear the dryer's not on. I'm going to get that." It reminded me, I think, of you, but she walked out and she was like, "Look at these flowers. This is nice, Kyle." And then Kyle's like, "Fuck my life."
And Kyle's shutting the door on her. And then when she did come over, what was she talking about? She was talking about Bonanza, the Cartwrights. Okay. And she came in. Yeah.
Who? Kathy?
Kathy.
I think I didn't get what she was saying. So
Okay.
What does that have to do? What's the Cartwright?
The Cartwrights are the family in Bonanza. Bonanza was one of the
What
first
was Bonanza about?
Western. Oh, it was great. It was Lauren Green was the father, and little Joe was his son, and Adam was his oldest son. Little Joe was the baby, and then Haas was the middle kid. And we used to play them at grandma's house, at my grandma's house, Francis, and we would jump on their beds and pretend those were the horses.
Kathy would be best friends, Nana. You both very much talk very fondly about, nostalgic things and memories and stuff.
So
I feel
wonderful.
Like you and Kathy would get along.
I think we would.
Western. Okay.
It's a Western, and it's so wonderful. It was a first
Ponderosa,
TV show.
She said.
Right. They lived on the Ponderosa.
Is that why in Survivor, after the people leave the island at a certain point for jury, they don't go home, they go to the Ponderosa? Is that why they call it a Ponderosa? It's somewhere you go after you've been
I don't know.
Voted off the island.
It's a big place, the Ponderosa. They had acres and acres. They were
they
were ranchers.
Like talking to each other or coming to terms, a Ponderosa?
No, I think it's more like it was a restaurant, and so was Bonanza.
I remember
where you get the little round tray and you walk through.
Yes. It was
and
like
you
a
order your steak.
Yeah, I used to think Ponderosa when you took us there as a kid. I was like, "Oh my God, this is so fancy. We must be rich because we get steak, we get salad."
I thought we were too.
The lighting was low, but then I realized that it's just basically a what's the one now? Chel's aunt took us there once after she had us check out her church. It was like
it was like a steakhouse, was it? No, Bonanza used to be a big one.
It's one of those ones that has like a salad bar.
Or you walk through like a cafeteria line.
Yeah. It's something similar. Someone will put it in the chat.
Well, I just loved it, but I wasn't through with Little Joe had the prettiest horse. Yes, he did. Little Joe was the prettiest horse. That was Michael Landon. He's passed now. But Haas, he was the middle son on the show. And we would play that, at grandma's house, jumping up and down. My cousin Kathy always got to be Little Joe, and I had to be Haas because I was chubby. I hate that. But I love them. I love the memory. I was the one that would break Grandma and Grandpa's bed jumping up and down on it. But so maybe I was a Haas. Oh, well, everyone's.
When Ponderosa these days for housewives, like Ponderosa, it means having a conversation as a group.
Oh.
Because I remember when Busy and I were covering all about the tea drama, that blogger or whatever she is that's mentioned in these shows, they talked about having a Ponderosa between them or something. So Aaron says Bonanza was a single father living with 3 sons, like my 3 sons, on a well.
Right. Yes,
on a well to do ranch. Oh, a well to do. I thought you meant like on a well.
Oh no, they were very rich. Michael Landon. And he was Little House on the Ferry. You like that show?
Prairie.
I know, but you used to call it Little House on the Ferry.
Oh, I thought you screwed it up. I was like, Nana, you know your stuff. Yeah, I remember I liked Little House on the Prairie when I was very little. Sizzler, Renee.
Sizzler, thank you, Renee.
So now when I go to Sizzler, I go, oh, I used to think, because it's like the old
Yes.
Ponderosa, I used to think that was so
Oh
fun.
God, it was just so cool when Bonanza came to our neighborhood.
Graphics,
Oh,
thanks for joining. I'm wearing your shirt you made me. I love it.
Night and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Okay, so she says, why did she bring up the Cartwrights? What did the reference mean in this situation?
I wondered that too. But she was coming up to the door and she says, because she was trying to be a cowgirl.
Oh,
Howdy,
okay.
howdy, blah, blah, blah. I'm here to
With her cowboy
apologize. Boots. And what, they're not cowboy boots. They said they were pioneers. Is that what she called them?
Pilgrim, I think.
I knew that was it.
Why can't
Pilgrim.
Kyle just ever let her have anything? Kathy thinks that platform boots are snow boots. She thinks those are just, how old is Kathy's in her 60s? Let her believe
let
it.
her
Who
believe what she
cares?
wants. I get it, Kathy.
He's silly. She's goofy.
I get it.
Kyle should have understood because she's in the age that can understand Kathy's references. She just didn't want to.
Yeah, she was just, and then and Miss T is saying she was just coming with a peace offering, but the peace offering was a flower off of Kyle's bush. So yeah, I don't know. Speaking,
it was hilarious.
It was funny.
That was fun. It was the comic. I feel like there are times whether we know Kathy plays up this character, but there's times we definitely need this comic relief because
and I think she really did feel bad when Kyle kept telling her that she didn't look dressed enough. She was wearing the wrong slippers. Did you wear those on the airport to the airport? My feet hurt. I get that, Kathy. If that makes you feel good and you want to wear slippers, Kyle, who are you to tell her she can't?
Yeah, it's so interesting because, hey, Producer Linda. Producer Linda's here from
Mesquite,
Iowa. Mesquite.
I know I always say it wrong too. Mesquite, Iowa.
Yeah, that's a cool
Hi,
name.
Honey. That's very cool. How are you doing, Linda? Linda, how you doing?
How you doing? Well, here's the thing. I like watching this Hilton stuff. I'm very interested in their dynamic. It's very sad in some ways, and also it's very relatable because I think in families, but they're on another level. And we know that there's a book out there, I haven't read it yet, about their mom and how she raised them, and there's some competition type things and stuff like that. But
I think so, they just
I do think that Kathy, I do think that does hurt her when Kyle puts her down. But then I also think it hurts Kyle when Kathy, her pranks might go too far. But for Kyle to completely not understand that Kathy could be hurt by that, you're calling her out all the time, Kyle, and in front of other people. And yes, she's rich, and yes, she's Kathy Hilton or all these things, but she's going to have these insecurities. So I think what's happening here is this is a relationship where resentment has been building and building and building and building, and it's not really talked about. So it comes out at these times when you're drunk or you're around, you're around other people and that person's not around. Because I fully believe that Kathy came on this show having talked to Kim and, knowing that Kyle, her reputation for being a sister wasn't great because Kim was always saying, Kathy would never let this happen. Kathy would have my back like a real sister, because a lot of times Kyle lets these friends get away with stuff that she would against, like, she lets them get away with stuff, saying stuff about her sisters. But then if someone says something about one of her friends that's not even as bad, she freaks out. And there was a prime example that someone tweeted, and I thought I grabbed the tweet, but I'll just paraphrase what they said because it was a really good point. Or maybe I have it here. Is this it? Okay. Yes, this is great, but I want to give the person credit. I want to steal their idea. So this at Kelly Mo 222 said, Kyle, when Sutton called Diana soulless. So you see her grabbing Sutton.
Yes.
And versus Kyle when Rinna told her sister Kathy she has a black heart. She did nothing. She
just sat there. It was like nothing ever happened. You should go to your sister's defense if you're talking to that sister. Take it from me.
Right.
I just want to go back real quick to producer Linda, because she doesn't ask for much. So Linda asked us to say hi to Cindy. She's watching also. And to say hi to Ruth. She's watching also. And Ruth, I just saw that she she always posts where she is and where they're eating and stuff. So that's kind of fun. So
Okay.
anyway, I get
Where
excited.
are you eating, Ruth?
Well, Ruth, where are you eating? But they stopped for lunch and she had this martini glass and they called it a dirty martini. And okay, I wasn't sure just what that was.
That
I
makes
said,
it dirty.
have them clean the glass. I mean, I
And
don't
they
know
put
what
their
you're...
tits in it. So that's
all right.
The bartender, male, female, doesn't matter. It's genderless. You put your tits in it. It's a dirty martini. I used to be a bartender. I know these things.
Well, that's what we did this weekend.
So there you go. Now, Natalie makes a good point, though. This is Kyle drunk versus not drunk. So that is a good point. But we have seen this happen before with Kyle, where she doesn't have the same energy to stick up for her sisters as she does for her friends. So she barely knows Diana. But I think she treats Sutton kind of like she treats her sisters, which isn't that great, you know? But there was something that was said. And I think it was so Kyle was crying to Kathy and saying, you know, you never check on me. You're always calling me and saying, you know, you need to vent, you need this, that, or the other thing. But I want to know that, you know, you're proud of me. And I think Kyle made a point that people can relate to. I know some people will be like, she's too old, she shouldn't worry about that. But as people are saying in the chat, Kathy was, you know, so much older than Kyle, still is obviously, but growing up, so she was more motherly and like made to be motherly toward her. So I think she looks to that from Kathy, and having lost their mom, that was such, you know, it's a big loss for anyone. And it was a big loss for them. So when Kyle, the way she said it, I can't remember, but she just, I started crying because I understood.
Did you?
I understand that. I forget exactly what it was that she said, but it was how you want, you know, your parents, you do want their approval. You do want them to feel proud, and you want to think that they like you. And I think I don't remember if it was Kathy or Kyle that said, I feel like you don't like me. But then Kathy embraced Kyle as she cried and was like, I am proud of you. You are a good mom. But I think this can happen in a lot of relationships. You get caught up and maybe you're not asking, how are you? Instead, you're calling to vent. But these are things they should have talked about and maybe did like family therapy about, but it made me real emotional. But it could be because I'm going to get my period like tomorrow. You know? Me too. Yeah. Nana's menstruating as we speak. So, I mean, what did you think of that scene?
It kind of breaks my heart because I see myself more in Kathy just because
you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest, and I get how she's feeling.
I get that too.
And sometimes people do need that pat on the back, whether you think they're the strong ones or whatever. Sometimes you really need to tell your friends, like I'll just bring up Linda, for instance. I forget to tell her how proud I am of her for taking care of her mom and dad. That's a huge thing. A lot of us have taken care of our parents. We know how hard it is. Worthwhile, yes, but it is hard. So sometimes you forget to tell that person that, hey, you're doing a good job, and it just kind of helps them along. You can
take them for granted. And I think in both of these situations, they've taken maybe each other for granted, and there's just so much resentment from all these years of, you know, they had a flashback showing Kyle and Mauricio talking about when he was going to start the agency, and then it kept in all these instances, and you're just like, and I think a lot of people can relate. I mean, families are complicated. If anyone's like, we have the perfect family,
nobody's got the perfect family.
Someone might. I don't know any.
I don't know any. No.
And this happens a lot of time with siblings, especially after the parent passes. You see that the matriarch or the patriarch. I was talking to Chell about that with, you know, your family in particular, and I was like, it's sad because I feel as though, you know, we used to have this close family, and it was your mom held it all together.
That's right.
She passed, but then we had grandpa, and people just it was almost like people are playing nice, but I didn't understand because I was young. And then, you know, he passed away when I was 27. So I was a little older then, but then I was able to see like
still pretty young
people's true colors. And I was like, wow, it's not the family I thought it was. And it breaks my heart to think that, but I think that is true for so many families out there, unfortunately.
I think some people just, you know, they have a hard time showing emotion. And I kept thinking, because my mom was that person, take charge kind of person. She would just pull her,
She just had it all
brother and her
together.
sisters together through
Yes.
lots of things. And I just felt like I had to be that one. So, like, okay, let's group together. Let's do this. Let's do that.
You were that.
But after a while, they didn't want to listen to that anymore. And I don't blame them. I'm saying that straight out. As the oldest child, I don't blame them for not listening to me, because I was calling shots, and that's what I was used to doing. And all of a sudden they're sitting back going, oh, wait a minute, we're grown-ups now. And I kind of sat back like, oh, I guess they are. So it's complicated. You're right.
It is. And I think this relationship is complicated, but it's very interesting. I would like to see Kim on the show too, because this is the time where I wanted to see, like people were saying in the chat, Kim show up and throw that bear in Rinna's face, because how dare Lisa Rinna? First of all, Lisa Rinna, make it more obvious that you're coming for all of the Richards sisters. It's insane. And how dare you come in and say that Kathy's behavior is somehow, you've never seen anything like it, when you legit were about to shank Kim Richards. You broke a glass. You could have you were sitting next to Vanderpump. You could have got glass in her restaurant owning eyes and her, dog loving eyes. You could have got glass in there. We thought you were going to stab Kim. You could have hurt so many people, all because she said, let's talk about the husband. Well, what is it? What's it going to take for us to finally go, what's Lisa Rinna's storyline? Because it can't be her mom. Harry Hamlin and her are just doing these like there's some kind of sitcom family. Nobody's talking about the rats in her kitchen, allegedly. She had a legit, if we're talking about families and she's going to call out families, her daughter Delilah did a TikTok. Remember, we talked about that was deleted, where she wanted her parents to pay for like trauma therapy. Why aren't we bringing this stuff up? What is your storyline besides trying to save yourself and Erika and try to be the cool girls? I just don't understand it, because even when I didn't even want Rinna to show up, because when Kathy and Kyle were talking, it was very interesting to me. And, I was crying. I was. And when Rinna shows up, I'm like, and then, Kathy's just like, yeah, you know what? It was cruel. She's like, cruel. Yeah, it was cruel. She's just so condescending. She's so self-righteous.
That is the word. Condescending. That is the word. Nobody wanted to hear from her. And I loved when they asked, and I wasn't sure if it was like the producer, like off to the side, asking Crystal, who do you believe, Kathy or Rinna? And she says, right now, she says yes. Or the person said yes. And she said, Kathy.
Yep. She was like, I believe Kathy.
I do too. I think Rinna is just throwing everybody under the bus, saying that Kathy threw everybody under the bus. I'm not saying Kathy didn't say some stuff. I'm sure she did. But not the way Rinna's. I mean, Rinna's talking like, she was the one that had to go hide in a bedroom or bathroom and lock the door because she was so afraid of Kathy.
That was the most bullshit I've ever heard from a woman who went to violence so quickly. Kathy's words got you there when you broke something. You looked like you were gonna stab a chick, like you were in jail. Like,
just stop it.
It was so ridiculous that Rinna was acting like this. And I believe Kathy Hilton was like, yeah, I got deals with NBC and Bravo. I'm going to take that for sure. Do I believe she was like an F Kyle and F Kyle too? For sure. Yeah. Do I believe this other storyline where Rinna's like, and her family, if it's the last thing I do? I think that's a little soap opera. And I don't necessarily believe that she's like Crystal's a loser and shouldn't be on the show. I think that's what Rinna thinks. Now, when she said Dorit's an idiot, what she's doing here, I was like, she probably said that. She probably said that. I mean, we've all kind of asked these questions.
We want to know why. I mean, I'm starting to really like Crystal. And that's something that I wasn't really big on Crystal before. Rinna, I used to always.
We both did. We thought she was a great addition at first, but then it gets old when you're just always calling other people out. What do you have? What is your storyline, Rinna? I would love to know, because so far, if you look at her life, what is it? We got Kyle's always bringing her family and the sister drama. Now we have Erika Jane. Obviously, she's got her legal stuff, her stuff with Tom. That's her storyline, though. Dorit had had an alleged robbery that happened, and PK got new teeth. Let's see. Crystal. Crystal's been dealing with the eating disorder and kind of finding her voice in this group. Garcelle is going to have to be careful because she could fall into the what's your storyline if we're doing this like fake dating, because she's good at kind of holding people
she is
fire. But now Rinna used to do that, but Rinna's been proven to be a hypocrite, so we can't trust her to do that. Where Garcelle, she is a talk show host, so that's what she's doing. But we will have to see more, so maybe we will see this stuff with her son. I'm not sure with actually we did see stuff with her. Well, it was because Erika called her son out, but the stuff with her adult son allegedly, and that might come up.
She shouldn't be held accountable for an adult son, though.
No, but if he's on some other shows with people that used to be on this, being like Vanderpump, it might come up. Like if he was just a private citizen, I'd say one thing, but if he's on TV, the shit might come up. And then Cherie, I don't really know what Cherie's purpose is yet. What are we doing yet? We got to give her something. And then who else am I missing?
She hasn't had anything. And I think
Rinna
she
has
could be
nothing.
Good. Rinna's got nothing. Now,
She's
does
got
Rinna
Harry
look thinner?
Hamlin's sauce.
Does Rinna look thinner to you? And I'm not body shaming. Don't call me on this. But does she look even a little? Does she look a little thinner? She does to me.
But all Rinna has is Harry's
yes, she
sauce
does.
and his gardening and get the hose to put out fires. It doesn't really.
And I don't think, I think when someone said, and I'm not sure if it was you, honey, if it was somebody in the chat said that they didn't even think Harry lived there anymore.
Well, that's the thing. There's so many rumors. So talk about that, because you're on a reality show. It's not like you're out there going for your Oscar or something where we're asking you to talk about your private life. You're putting it all out there. So we're going to have questions if you're on a reality show. If people say your husband doesn't live with you, this is a false relationship, your daughter's posting publicly on social media about you, your parenting, your lack of empathy and understanding for her mental health, you think these things would be addressed, but they're not.
You would think so. Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. So did you see her on Sharon saying Andy didn't seem fond of her on Watch What Happens Live? I didn't watch What Happens Live. So
I am so sad that I missed that, because usually it runs right into that and I'll pick up on the recording, but it didn't record this time. So I don't know why, but I really liked it. Andy's looking older too. Andy,
Nana, that's called aging.
No, and I understand that, but I mean, I think just from the stress and
she
stuff.
Looks too thin.
She looks too thin.
Old. Colleen can just eat a dick because she doesn't even watch us. So Nana is going to drag everyone into hell, and we're just all going to go along.
Call me Nana Rinna.
Nana Rinna. Just like Miss T says, Lisa doesn't own it. She rents it. What do you think?
That's perfect. I love that.
Where she comes in with the Tom Ford jean on jean, and Dorit's like, "Oh my God, I love it.
You know what?
Chic. It's so me." And then she goes, "Oh, I rented it. I can rent anything." And
oh my God.
Yes, Dorit, did you read from Le Archive, which that is Marlo Hampton's. She has a business. Now, everyone dragged her a little bit because that's not how you would spell Le Archive. That's not how the French, you wouldn't have the E, I believe.
You say L.
No, the spelling wise.
You just say the L with the.
Yeah, with the apostrophe or the whatever that is. And so that's what Marlo does. And she introduced that on, I think, this season of RHOA, where, she had introduced it before, but she had like a big fashion show, but I think it was just mannequins. And she has these like designer clothes of hers that she rents. So did she get it from Marlo? I hope so. I hope she's given Marlo some business, but I thought Dorit, there's been lots of speculation, Nana, that Dorit rents her clothing and purses. But she says, I own all of them.
Well, if you can rent that stuff, I mean, why not?
Is it a better deal? I mean, I guess like a Birkin. If you need a one-time Birkin to look rich, rather than investing $70,000 in a purse, which we're going to see next episode. They got having a Birkin party. We're going from literally Erika Jayne's hairline. I'm so sorry, you guys. I have to say this. I bought wigs off of Amazon during the pandemic that looked just like the wig Erika Jayne was wearing. I'm sorry, it did. It looks synthetic. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Instead of real hair. The
way it sits and kind of hangs on the shoulder, like it.
Yeah,
it's not, Erika. It's not good. It's not good.
But did you laugh when they called it a pop-up? She had a pop-up, like real quick. She had a pop-up to show the thing. It reminded me when you and I went to that pop-up for Beverly Hills 90210. That was so much fun. I always bring myself back there. If I'm getting sad or something, I'll bring myself to that where we were, because that was such a fun time.
That was fun. But those wigs and the hair pieces, whatever they are, extensions, they look very synthetic. They look very like the literal wig. I forgot I was going to wear it tonight. My blonde wig that I got during the pandemic to do characters and stuff. And I do my Erika character in it when I used to do those videos. And it looks like the one I got off Amazon for like $22.
Yeah. Well, what is she charging? Did they even say prices? I never heard prices.
I don't think so. I didn't.
I mean, all of a sudden, all you saw is all this hair hanging there. And did you see when Crystal put the pink one on?
Oh yeah,
it was so funny. She goes, "Oh, I don't think this is me."
I thought she liked it because she said she likes Japanimation.
Well, she looked adorable in it because I like that hot pink. I love that hot pink.
Yeah, it's like a rosy kind of. Yeah, I like that too. But I just thought that was so bad that this is Pretty Mess hair was a mess. Is it supposed to be like something you can get at Sally Beauty and one of those like ponytail things, that you can just put one of those fake ponytails in, like you're one of the teen moms from MTV or something?
I know. Like, what was that one, that killer mom that her daughter didn't make the cheerleading squad? And remember that show?
Did she wear those?
No.
Oh, you just want to talk about killer moms.
Talk about killer moms.
Nana. No, it just looked they looked cheap. What are people saying in the chat? I'm just screenshotting something.
They're saying,
read some comments. I'll let you do your favorite thing. Aren't I a nice daughter?
When they showed Dorit and Kyle, I know they meant to say Kyle, from a previous season, I realized they really didn't have they really did have surgery. That's very true. Going back and then looking at their, faces or things that have changed. I think if I wasn't so afraid of like the Botox and all that, the Botox, you hold it. I wouldn't mind something here, but maybe not there. We talked about it this weekend with the girls. We would all have. Do you want to
go get Botox while you're here?
No. We all would have our boobs lifted if we had something to do.
You guys should just get in you should have a boob circle jerk where you just sit and you hold each other's boobs up when you go out, and everyone takes a turn helping a sister out.
I know, and I'm not sure, but I think that might have happened.
Sorry.
And I don't even drink. But anyway.
Nana, did you get naked with your friends?
No, I didn't. I did not. If I did, I wouldn't tell anybody. But
you'd tell everybody.
I would tell everybody. But I wish that, we could just a little smaller. Yes, Tilly, I agree. And then just kind of pull them up a little. That would be great. The kind where you don't have to wear a bra. I would love that.
Okay, you want like little itty bitty fun titties. Got it.
Kind of like perky, but with a little bounce to the ounce with it. Yeah.
Itty bitty perky fun titties. Nana wants to be in the itty bitty perky fun titty club. Doesn't everybody? Then they don't get sweaty and
and JBB saying get that Botox, Nana. I'm afraid of it. I am afraid. I have seen people that have had Botox and they look so fresh. I don't know how else to say it.
You're afraid of looking fresh?
Well, they look so fresh. It looks so nice, but I'd be afraid that I would have some kind of reaction.
You would look so not fresh.
I know. I would not look fresh.
She wants that summer's eve look on the face.
I know.
Okay. So how about, all right, I know we're skipping around, but it's fun this way. How about,
I love this.
this is Sutton when they get to this Sally Hansen Beauty Supply fake ponytail.
I love
party,
that.
hair. Okay.
The pop-up. Yep.
The pop-up, but there was nothing popping about the hair. I'm sorry, it was not good hair.
No,
and
it was not.
It wasn't for housewife level. It's not. Now, if you want to sell to poor people like me, okay, I might consider it since I buy wigs off Amazon. I'm trash, but I feel like she wants to make more money than that. Maybe not. Maybe she wants to sell to the masses. But okay, this is when her and Rinna Rinna and Erika at Erika's pop-up decide to talk about the Kathy Hilton thing. And was Kathy going to show up? Kathy didn't show up because we're still talking, what Kathy said, even though miraculously we're on a reality show where nobody caught any footage. There was not one cameraman. Rinna heard Kathy Hilton losing her shit. And you're going to tell me Lisa Rinna, who is as motivated to take people down as anybody, wouldn't have recorded this, wouldn't just turn on the audio on her phone, wouldn't do something. No way. So this is their, bringing up the Kathy stuff. It gets worse every time. And then she sat on a cat and said, I don't feel sorry about it. But the cat ran away and she was like, I hope it dies. She would horrible stuff. She was like, Kyle's butt smells. It always has. She's never cleaned her belly button. It's stinky. You even had to Google, how do you clean your belly button? She makes cheese in there. She was just horrible stuff she was saying. Her and her family makes cheese in there. Sorry, grossing people out. But you like Dr. Pimple Popper.
I watched it last night. It was a really good one. Okay, go ahead.
They sit and they're talking about this, and then Rinna says, "I'm just gonna pray for Kathy. I'm gonna pray for her." And Erika says, "You are so evolved," and Rinna said, I know. And that was Sutton's face, because that's all of us excuse, what did you just say? Girl, you are not evolved because you meditated one time.
And Sutton, what is wrong with this lady? And Sutton comes out with, I didn't know Rinna prayed. And that's all she had to say.
She's like, I do not remember. Pray for yourself. Pray for your own family. Pray that your husband really lives there. Pray that the rats are fake. Pray that
my God, true story.
Get your QVC dusters back. Pray for anything but Kathy Hilton, because it's so disingenuous. You hate her.
See, I love Kathy Hilton.
Kathy came on the show and that she doesn't really like you that much after seeing everything. Because remember, Kathy was like, I'll never forget.
That's right. She says,
I'm done to my sister.
That's right. And she said that straight out. She says, you mess with my sister. Now, look at Kathy. Now, how young she looks with the longer hair like that and more of a relaxed look. Doesn't she look younger?
She's had stuff done.
I'm sure she has, but look at it, just the hair, the way she's doing, kind of like a Sutton, like when Sutton didn't have that real...
the wavies. And
yes.
Mm-hmm. So you like it, you approve, Nana.
I like it very much, and I'm not feeling sad about what I said about my girls' weekend, because I love these girls and we had fun together.
We're back on Colleen. I hope Colleen is not watching this.
No, I just have to. There goes my chair again. See,
money. That is karma. That you're talking some cash money shit about your friend after you told her to watch.
But I'm just saying, after I've said this for time and time again, don't do that. Erika Concealed Trashy Extensions can't mention tequila. Oh, okay.
Right. And Kathy's just an investor. I guess it's Eva Longoria's tequila, really. So Kathy can't talk about the damn tequila, but we got to look at Erika's Sally Hansen Dollar Tree, 5 Below extensions. I mean, wouldn't you think a woman...
But that is, think about that. It is. Because she got really PO'd when Rinna goes, can I try some of that 188 or whatever that was, 811 was some numbers like that.
Jenner, who I could have gave birth to and raised.
Are you kidding me? And so she knew she was playing with Kathy. She knew she was,
Oh, she's so proud of herself because she has that shit-eating grin on her face. It's like, Rinna, no.
Rinna, it's time to let things relax. Those plump lips were cute back in the day. when you were still on soap operas like Melrose Place. I
Thin
think you did a
ass
fabulous
lips
job.
are gonna come back, and they're never coming back.
Yes, they are. These lips
Me
are
and
gonna
Nana's
be
thin ass, barely.
I just
there
wish
lips
I
are
could
gonna
get
come
some,
back.
I like when you outlined yours and they looked plumper. I will try that.
When
Sally
I did,
Hansen
I didn't do that
extensions.
tonight. I
Noelle
definitely
in California is dying there.
Overline my lips because it's why not, especially when I'm going live. When you're up close, it looks creepy. The same way when Kathy pointed out, I think it was Erika's, remember? And she was like, did you overline? I do that
What
just
do you
live,
do with that?
but
That
in
was
person,
so funny.
it looks creepy. Miss T's killing it tonight. Kathy,
I know she
pray.
is.
Yeah, she preys on people. She doesn't.
Miss T, I love that. I saw that too. Hang on, I'm going to fix my chair again, you guys. Way high.
But Nana won't get a new chair. Scott is saying, Lisa's saying that Kathy was, oh my God, thank you for reminding us of this. Lisa saying that Kathy was jealous of the Kardashians, but Lisa forgets that Kim was being paid to organize Paris's closet. There is no way at this point. I mean, maybe Kathy has hindsight to be like, oh, we should have taken a show deal or something. I don't even know if she would feel that way. Because she didn't really have interest in doing reality TV until later on. Paris was one of the first reality TV stars on Simple Life, other than like The Real World and stuff.
I loved that show with her and Richie.
She started that, but I know
Richie's daughter. Oh yes.
Nicole? Yeah. What Paris wanted ultimately was to go to that next level because that was at the time where reality TV was coming up, but it wasn't something you would settle into for a career. Where now you can have a legit, respected career in Hollywood on one of these franchises. Where in 2002, 2003, 2004, people were like, there are actors who would like, I would never do that. And now actors are lining up to do it because it was looked down upon. It was an era where actors were like, I want to do an indie. I got to do an indie to prove I'm a real artist. And now no one's doing independent movies, barely even go to movie theaters anymore. Film actors are doing TV because TV is now being produced, and these shows, since the invention of streaming services, are looking very more cinematic, that's the word I'm looking for, than a lot of the actual movies. So everything progresses and changes and stuff. But so I think Paris probably, she had a different idea. Then she came back to do some other reality shows. They didn't go as well as Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but I don't think that Kathy's sitting at home jealous. And I think that Paris and Kim have come to a place where they're friends again. They had a little falling out, but they were young and drunk, mostly I think Paris, but and they were at weddings and Christmas parties. And so this is Rinna trying to stir some shit up. Chris and Kathy, whether you love them or hate them, they're bosses when it comes to managing their families and Kris Jenner, especially being the momager for her kids' careers, like that or not, that's, she is. But yeah, I don't think, yes. And Sarah makes a good point. Nikki married a Rothschild, and neither Paris or Nikki has to run through famous men to stay relevant. I mean, it's a different level of celebrity I think Paris had. Now Kim is just on a level I don't think a lot of people saw coming, but it wasn't until that deal was made with E and then the show ran as long as it did. And now Hulu. So the Kardashians are definitely, it's a successful show, but they're known for a lot of things now, but they're originally known for their show. They wouldn't have the products. They wouldn't have
absolutely not. People would not be buying their stuff.
So
Sharon Stock is saying, was that before the Osbournes? I think the Osbournes were. I think the Osbournes
before the
were
Osbournes.
First.
Let's look. Okay.
I think the Osbournes were first.
Okay. I'm going to say The Simple Life.
I'm going to say the Osbournes because I think I read that they were numero uno, and I bought their calendar.
Right. So The Simple Life premiered in December 2nd, 2003. Okay.
December 2nd.
Osbournes premiere 2003. Anna, you're right. The Osbournes were March 5th, 2002. So I take that back. The Osbournes were OGs.
I got
when it
it.
comes to that.
Honey, I got it tattooed right here. Osbournes. Ozzy.
Ozzy was first. Ozzy was first. Yeah. Kim, she was kind of Paris's like sidekick, and now she's, obviously she's outgrown that. But yep, and the Hiltons haven't really been known to be culture vultures like the Kardashians have been accused of. So it's just I just think Rinna's doing that classic thing. She's taking two successful women, whether you like them or not, and putting them against each other to fight when there's probably no fight there right now. I think Kathy's pretty comfy. I think Kris Jenner's very comfy. So I don't think those two families are fighting with each other. We've come a long way from Kim saying that, or from Paris saying that Kim's ass looks like a trash bag full of, I don't know what she said, Jello or lard or something horrible. But that was a long time ago. We've all grown. She's like 40 something now,
That's right. And you wait to get
Anna
into your
says
60s.
Worse things every Friday about people.
You get in your
Grown
60s
friends.
and you can say anything you want. It's just I'm just trying to be honest, and I think she took it as honest, I think Colleen did. And
you're back to talking about your friends. Nana. So it's not Kris Jenner versus Kathy Hilton. It's Nana versus Colleen. The Minnesota.
Honey, I'm just saying.
Hello, Black Girls Code.
Hi, Black Girls Code. Hello, Joleen in chat. Well, how about Nana? You should say hi to me too, honey. But anyway,
it's all about Nana. All about
Nana. But it's cottage cheese. Is that what she said? Because that's what Ariana's saying.
Cottage cheese. Thank
you.
Pants, it was cheese. A trash bag full of cottage cheese. I remember thinking that's very mean to say.
That is. I wish mine looked that good. Okay.
Well, now the Kardashians are now on apparently the next trend, because you have to follow them for body positivity. Psych, don't do that.
Yeah.
I think the next trend, they're getting their butt stuff taken out, and now it's like they're getting real skinny. Kim got real skinny. Khloe is so skinny.
Khloe doesn't look like Khloe anymore. I had to look twice. Yeah. I went, is that Khloe? She's lost a lot of weight. She's very thin. She went real blonde. She's beautiful no matter, the old Khloe or the new Khloe.
It's issues. I mean, she was like, I think I'm not caught up in the latest episodes of the Kardashians on Hulu, but I think she said Tristan proposed her and she turned it down. I hope you would, hun, because he keeps having babies with everybody else.
I know. Please, you deserve more than that.
Yeah.
Walk away
Everybody
from that.
Does. The kids deserve more than that. Black Girls Code says, I know that I might be in the minority, but I actually like Rinna, and I think she's telling the absolute truth about Kathy.
Black Girls Code, put the pipe down. That is not true.
Nana's saying you are high on marijuana, and Nana wishes she was high.
I do, and you can have your opinion. I just don't agree with it. I used to be a Rinna backer. I loved Rinna.
But here's
and now
the thing.
She's just
if they would just show us.
Thank you, honey. You don't have to apologize.
There's no way there is no footage of this. There's just no way.
There's no way. You
and
have
that
footage.
Would alleviate us having to wonder. I agree with you, Black Girls Code, in the fact that Kathy said 95% of that shit. 95 for sure. Did she get mad when they wouldn't play Michael Jackson? Hell yeah. She was holding stuff in. She had built up resentment for years against Kyle. Kyle resents her, and then she's like, F this. Because remember, she was worried about not being able to get in the club. Was that the same night they're going to that club?
No,
and then the cameras went down, or was that a different night? Remember, because
I think it was a different night, honey, because she left as soon as Rinna asked for somebody else's tequila. She left because she just wanted to take a taste
but then
of it.
Remember, they saw each other later back at the house. I think it might have been the same night. And then, so at this club, Kathy's probably showing up. This is the only thing I agree with Diana Jenkins on. Okay, I do agree with Diana Jenkins on something. And you guys, don't drag me. Okay, or drag me. Okay. So I definitely Bravo. She's got lots of deals. They're going to cover for Kathy Hilton for sure. I think Diana was correct when she was explaining that Kathy didn't understand how the clubs work. So Kathy walked in drunk, mad, upset. They're all drunk. They're all whatever. And she's like, play Michael Jackson, play Billie Jean. And they're like, we're not playing Billie Jean. This is a club. There's a lot younger people, I'm sure, that are in there. I'm not doing that. She probably didn't pay him, from what it sounds like. Diana Jenkins, who has been unknown. She was a known person in the party scene for years and years and years and years, and also alleged some other things possibly. But I think we've now seen, her past of hanging with these celebrities and throwing parties and partying and going to clubs, because she came up at the time of when, people were going to, like, I don't know if she went to Les Deux, but I'm just talking about things I saw like on the hills, where like Lindsay Lohan and Paris would go to these clubs. And then that's how she knew like Diana Jenkins and stuff. So Diana Jenkins knows how the game works, where they don't care. They, how many celebrities you go in these like fancier clubs or stuff, people they see, they're like, show me the coin. So if you want what's played, if you want bottle service first, if you want the best table, you got to throw out money right from the jump, which is what Diana did. And Erika was like, she only had to throw $200. He wasn't worth much. And I'm like, honey, $200 would help you so much right now, Erika, because those Sally, like, no. Sally Beauty Supply, no. Hair extensions, no. Erika still talks like she has money when people are repoing stuff from your ears, from your earlobes, ma'am. You are getting repoed. I've heard of cars being taken, but you are getting repoed from your own skin. Holes in your body are being repossessed. Okay. So I did agree with Diana that it's just, that's how you play the game in that club scene,
I didn't have any idea about that. I did hear, from old Vegas, to get a good table up front.
Oh, yeah.
I understand that.
But I went there at 21. You could pay your way in. If you were a really hot girl, they just let most women in because they make the guys pay a lot.
But my generation, I don't think we didn't go to clubs. There were clubs.
You were getting high in fields and having premarital sex with my dad and God knows who else in your free love generation.
Peace.
Yes, Gen Xers and older do want to listen to Billie Jean. When I would go to and I'm considered a very old millennial or a very young Gen Xer, being born in 1980. And when I would go to the club when I was in my early 20s, I waited for them to play PYT. And PYT had already been, what album is Pretty Young Thing? Was that from Off the Wall?
I was like, what is PYT?
I want to love you. Pretty Young Thing.
Oh, yes. That I think it was Off the Wall.
Such a good song.
That was the best.
You had the album.
I got the album. I still got it.
In the office, and I would listen to it on your record player, and I was like, what is this song? I didn't know. I only knew I started listening to Michael Jackson. It was my first concert I ever went to. You took me. It was the Bad Tour. Remember?
I remember that.
And so I didn't know, I was young, so I didn't know his old albums. So I would play your actual record albums. And I remember playing Off the Wall and thinking, this is amazing. And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, PYT was on it. So when I was at the club at like 22, 23, and I'm talking, I wasn't going to these kind of clubs. I went to the Ragin' Cajun, which is when the Minnesota bars closed in Stillwater. You went across the bridge to Wisconsin, and it was a strip club. But at 1 a.m., the ladies were done working, and they cleared the floor that they stripped on for us hoes to dance on. And then we were like, I want to love you. And then I wanted to hear that and let's get married. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. So like I wanted to hear certain songs, but PYT was one of them. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, High Vibe, that PYT's from Thriller. So sorry.
Is that the Thriller album? That was the #1 selling album.
There's so many good albums.
I mean, the Off the Wall was my absolute favorite.
Off the Wall had something else that I really liked.
It had everything.
I can't remember what the songs were because I was young, but I remembered it until I was older. So I get what you're saying. We wanted to Jagged Edge. Yes. I was like, first of all, and they would play, we're like, can we play Let's Get Married? And they'd be like, oh, these drunk chicks. Like I always was requesting, but I never tipped anybody. I was play my song. So I was like Kathy Hilton.
I never even would think that you had to tip somebody to play a song, but we didn't have DJs. We had
weed.
Jukeboxes. And
Jukeboxes.
and weed.
Nana was like, anyone got a quarter and some hash? I would like to listen to Joplin.
Who's got a match? Anyway,
it was an amazing first concert. I was probably, because the Bad Tour, what did it came out in 88 or something? I think I was 9 years old.
I remember taking you, and I remember where we sat, and I'm trying to think.
Was it at the Metrodome?
I want to say Civic Center, honey.
Civic Center, probably. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have gone over to Minneapolis.
Oh no, it would have been like we don't.
No. He'll come to St. Paul. Yeah, don't you worry your pretty little thing about it. Pretty young thing. So, should we talk about just a real quick mention of Coolio? When I heard that he passed, he was only 59. I thought of you and Billy right away because you guys always sang that song.
Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives. Yeah. Power and the money and the power, minute after minute, hour after hour. That was that movie. Dangerous Minds came out when I think I was 14. And
I just remember
Annie Dorner's mom took us to see it. And that's how I discovered, I didn't know who Coolio was. And then Coolio later went on to be on Celebrity Big Brother in the UK. And I'm sure he did other music, but all we know is Gangster's Paradise. So yeah, that was really sad to hear that. I don't know how he passed. I don't know any of the details.
They're not saying yet. They didn't let that out yet, how it happened. But only 59. That's so sad.
So sad.
And here's your dad. He goes, well, how did you know Coolio? I go, well, the kids would sing this all the time, Gangster Paradise. I mean, they would sing it constantly. And so the minute I heard that, I went, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
TMZ came out first.
Coolio, yeah. But you know who's still alive? Elton John. And he called, did he call Diana or did Diana call him?
I think he called Diana. I saw that. Now, he looks good.
And she was like, I love you. I love you. Did he say I love you? I couldn't remember. But he just wanted to thank her for her generous.
Yes, I thought he was talking to me. I don't know if he's talking to Diana. I have no idea. I don't know. Dirty Diana, I have no idea.
But you could tell Diana's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Elton's calling me.
I know.
I love you, baby. I think, was Erika next to her when she took the call? Erika's like, honey, is that Elton? I do music too. And he was like, I know.
No, you don't.
what you think you do. But you have.
Can you say mode synthesizer? Yes. You do not sing. You just, prance around in high hooker shoes and act like you can't
leave the hookers alone.
I'm not
the damn hookers alone. You and this hooker hate, I'll never understand.
I don't have hooker hate. Stop it. I do not.
Nana and her hooker hate. Now, Lisa Rinna's been posting on social media. She thinks she's all the right. She said, the look you give when you've held their feet to the fire and they admitted to a lot of what they had done, but not all of it. I think she admitted to most of it. What is Kathy now not saying she did? I want to burn Kyle and her family down. Like what is she saying?
I don't think she said as much as Rinna's saying she said. Do I think, like you said, 95%? Probably.
Yeah.
But like you said,
does she too. Above these ladies? Yeah, she does. You can tell she does.
Well, because she is.
Well, when it comes to Rinna, I mean, I think a lot of these women have like fake money, and Kathy allegedly has real money. So that might be hard. I feel like this has just become a pattern with Rinna and Erika and them now. That every season they pick a housewife to take down and take out of the franchise. And I'm just like, that's not really your job, because then we get these seasons where people aren't showing up to stuff because it becomes this like us versus them, like bully mentality. I'm fine with a split housewife. Some people are friends here, but you all have to come together and you also have to film together and don't work to get each other taken off the show. Just make it really interesting for us. But it's hard for me with this storyline because there's just I'm watching a reality show where you're supposed to be filmed. I mean, on RHOBH, Nana, they had a couple seasons ago, they did I think, I can't even remember now whose well, was it a shower? Well, Candy threw something. Who the hell was it for? You guys remind me in the chat. And she had this stripper there named Bolo. Okay. And Bolo has a wiener to his ankles. Okay. And
why did they call him Bolo?
I forget. Maybe because he's got a no, that would be a boa constrictor in his pants. That's just his name. He's a very popular dancer, erotic, whatever. So they all were like, haha, Bolo, Bolo, and he came in and he's, doing his thing. And they're all like, haha. Then cameras down, yet cameras stayed up. And so did Bolo, okay? Allegedly with Portia and some other things were going down, but cameras caught a lot of the activity and moving around and dancing and after hours. So I just find it so weird. So either what some of you are saying in the chat is true, that they're just completely hiding this footage and trying to protect Kathy, or it doesn't make sense that it wouldn't be filmed. Now, if they were hiding it, wouldn't Lisa Rinna be calling that out and saying,
Rinna would be calling it. Rinna would be calling it out. Or would she be
too afraid to lose her job? Cynthia's bachelorette. I forgot Cynthia got married. Is she still married to Mike Hill? Okay. So Bolo, the male dancer. Yes, the bridal shower for Cynthia. And everyone was like, cameras down, and the women felt comfortable then, to then really explore Bolo, some of the women. But the cameras, they still had certain cameras that were up. Even they didn't go completely down. But we're talking about these women are on a trip. We know the craziest shit happens in Housewives when they're on a trip. And not one camera, not one piece of audio, not one little clip can come out. This is suspicious.
Very, very. So let's go back to Bolo, shall we?
Oh, Nana, you should have watched that season of RHOBH. It's like 2 seasons ago, I think now.
Well, if I would Google
Bolo. Here, let me show you Bolo.
Would that show that?
Nana, you're not going to be able to handle Bolo. How could he is a grown man? It would not be a pedo, right, Nana. It would just be a nasty Nana.
I like
Bolo male dancer. Okay.
Michael Jackson's saying Dirty Diana. Can he sing Nasty Nana? Well, he could if he was still with us.
Nasty Nana.
He passed away June 25th on my anniversary.
Dirty Diana. Oh, and Nasty Nana. Okay, I'm getting his Instagram, which is very, I want to see. Okay, let me look at images. Bolo dancer, and I'll just put from RHOBH.
Oh, and they're still married, Miss T said. She knows.
And it was still during the pandemic, so he had to wear a mask.
Oh, shut up. He wore a mask?
I'll show you. And he was licking the mask. Well, I mean, his penis was hard to not see. I don't know if I'll be able to see shots here, but here's let's see.
Do you always wonder why do some men get that?
What? Big wieners?
Yeah.
Do you wish you would have met one of those men, Nana? Is that what you're saying?
Who says I haven't?
People you can still meet somebody.
I want to dance with somebody.
I want to feel the peen with somebody. Girl, I want to dance with somebody.
Bolo in the box still makes me blush. Bolo.
Oh, that's what I have to Google. Bolo in the box. Okay. Because that's when he was outside dancing. Bolo in the box.
Oh, and that's and
then you can see.
Blue said that.
Sorry, I'm just looking it up as we. I'm trying to.
Patriotic says, "How do they walk? Very slowly." Okay, I don't know.
Very carefully, slowly. Yes. Let me try to get a screen grab of this. So Candy hosted a welcome to the dungeon, ladies, and then they all had to wear their lingerie. Oh, it won't play. Maybe it won't play because
that's okay, honey. Yeah, that's probably.
Oh, here we go.
We don't want to jeopardize anything to do with
we don't care. Bravo ain't calling us. Andy doesn't ask us to be on Watch What Happens Live. That is some bullshit.
I know. I wouldn't even mind being the bartender, even though I wouldn't know what I know how to pour a beer, but that would be the only thing I know.
We should definitely be the bartenders. Okay.
Wow. So
what else do you have anything else in your notes about
Oh, I never even looked at
this
them.
episode. You don't have to talk about stuff we already talked about. Just curious if you had anything.
Okay,
else
let's see if I did.
In your notes.
Oh, and just when Rena comes over to Kyle's too, and Kathy apologizes to her, sort of. And, you know, Rena, she just doesn't know how to take an apology. She just threw it up to her like she was talking to Denise Richards. I mean, really? Okay. So anyway, didn't care much for, I like that this was a good episode. This is a very good episode. And then next week, we already have the conclusion of the season. And then we'll be going into the reunion, which is always fun.
I'm just going to Google Bolo Wiener because I can't. Bolo's bulge. Bolo's RHOBH bulge.
Oh, I don't know if we should.
You're the one that said you wanted to see it.
I can see it in the privacy of my own computer room.
Oh, you don't want me here when you're looking at it.
Oh, no, that's fine. Oh, that's not nasty. It's just curiosity. Curiosity didn't kill the cat.
Your hymen. Okay.
Kill the pussy. Okay. Don't forget the text messages from Kathy to Rita that were threatening. Yes.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what? Sarah, thank you. Sarah, smile. Yes. What was that? I mean,
it wasn't threatening. She said silence is golden. Or no, she said, I'm going to choose to be silent. Was she hinting that she should be? Yeah. Is it some kind of veiled threat? No.
I don't think it's a veiled threat. I don't think
if she would have said,
Hilton has to threaten people.
If you say anything, I will ruin you. Yeah. I will ruin you.
That's a threat.
I will ruin everyone.
But she would not do that.
I will talk about your butt being like cottage cheese, just like my daughter did. Okay, don't even get me started.
Don't get me started.
Your cottage cheese. Okay, so here I think blurred out stuff now, Nana. But he was in a box and he was dancing for the ladies, and they've had to blur it because it's just how could we ever see a bulge and survive it, you know? And then he's dancing on the floor.
Oh,
and see how his wiener goes all the way to like almost the kneecap.
Oh my goodness. That isn't a wrinkle, is it? Huh.
Nope. That is a rager in the cager, Nana. Here's another one where you can kind of see that we got some movement here. And then he did have to wear that mask, which was so hilarious because they even put his name. That's how big his wiener is. They put his name over.
Oh my.
I mean, we're always showing these ladies' boobs out.
I know.
We got camel toe. Now everyone's talking about Khloe Kardashian's talking about how she has a fat cat in her pants. You know, like she told Kim, you got to make some Skims because I got a fat cat. Because apparently you can have a fat lady part. I assume that's like she's got some thick lips, you know.
Okay.
And she said her material doesn't cover, you know, because Kim makes Skims, like the undergarments and stuff that'll like cinch you up and stuff. So yeah, it's an ovary scrambler. You know, that's what he's doing. Cover Tilly's eyes. Tilly would never look. She's not into this sort of thing. Tilly is asexual. You know.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's asexual. She's not sexual on the leash. She says this is her. This is how she feels. This is how she identifies. Like I said, Bolo in the box. You said that. You said that shit. You said it. So that's what you missed, right? I feel like we'd be great. Everyone tweet Andy. Do anything to get, if anyone has an idea how to get his attention on us two ladies from the Midwest. I mean, come on now, bro.
Come on.
We would love it. Nana will tell Andy he looks old. No, she won't. She'll probably hit on him.
No, I just think he looks very cute. He's looking for a partner now. He's looking for a husband.
Is that what he said?
Yes, he's looking for a husband because he's got the 2 kids now, and I think
he's got a Lucy. Speaking of adorable daughters, so Dorit's daughter, I liked this episode when she was like, "But I want to talk to Kyle." And she's like, "Well, Kyle's in a scary movie." I'm like, "She's in the trailer, Dorit, and she has no blood on her face." And she's like, "Oh," and she's like, "Give me 30 minutes, honey." She's like, 4,
10.
4, yeah, 10, 4, 3, 2. Her negotiation skills are like her dad's, I think.
I think so too. And also, right. And also like Lucy's. That sounded just like Lucy. Okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Ooh, 3. Okay.
Yep. Now, Andy's mom and Nana would be good friends. Yay, 11 likes to get to 100. So hit
there
that
we go.
like.
We have 153 in the house. Come on, let's hit that like.
Yeah,
It's
Rinna,
great.
just Kelly says, Rinna is taking a page from politicians who just say the same thing over and over. Propaganda. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Again, until people actually believe it. It's those texts from Kathy. Believe it. Those texts from Kathy were nothing. They really were nothing. Was she definitely hinting that you should not say anything? Yeah. Like, don't make it worse than it needs to be. Yeah. But is it threatening? I don't think so.
Gosh.
But maybe I'm blinded because Rinna's done way worse shit than this that I don't really get it. Yeah, hit the like. Sue says, sit on the like if you want.
Ooh, all right.
If it feels good, do it.
Now, Haynes Blue, she reminds me of Eloise in the city. Is that Eloise? What are you doing? Is it that Eloise? Now, she was from the 50s. And there was a recording of this woman saying, Eloise, what are you doing?
She? Who's the woman?
It was a cute little girl, and what was her name? She did this, and my mom would say that to me all the time. Eloise, what are you doing? And now we have a little
someone
Eloise
in the chat hears about or knows about it. Allie says, I think Rinna leaving Crystal's party was 100% to draw attention to the Kathy situation. Yes, absolutely. She was building it up like the soap actress she is.
Yes.
She is uber dramatic. And now, Rinna, people are pulling receipts out on Rinna. And apparently, what was the thing? They were there was lots of stuff. I was looking at the hashtag RHOBH on Twitter and the problematic things Rinna has said and done through the years. So it's like, do you want to, I just feel like you can't be I'm holding people accountable when you haven't been accountable. Show us that this happened. And if it didn't, and you do think Bravo's covering for them, then call it out. But I think she's afraid she's going to end up in like a Nene Leakes situation if she calls them out. So, all right. So on to, I think that's everything. Let us know.
I think it is too. Haint Blue, thank you. That little kid that lived in New York City, that is Eloise.
People remember
Eloise,
the book,
what are you doing? There is a book on it, but there's also a recording, and it was a record that they played back in the day. And you can just Google that too if you're done Googling Bolo, Nana.
Yep, if you're
Eloise,
done
what are you doing?
Bolo in I wanted to say in the bin, but that's not what it was. Okay.
It was in the box.
In the box. All right, let's talk about this. We're back into Salt Lake City. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City have returned into our lives. We have a couple new housewives that we're going to be introduced to. This one in the back left, she had the party in this episode for Coach Shaw. Jen Shaw's back. She's facing trial in March. Spoiler alert, it got pushed back to the summer. Spoiler alert, she ends up taking a plea deal. Correct?
Yes, March 22nd it was supposed to be.
She said forever, why would I take a plea deal? I'm innocent. And then she took a plea deal because everyone in that case took a plea deal.
Yes, they did. Did.
So I love how they set this episode up because they are a lot of foreshadowing and also pulling back to their first season pre-interviews and showing how much Jen Shaw was talking about, here's what I do. I make so much money, talking about the girls' relationships. So it's like so much has changed from 2019 when they were doing their introductory interviews trying to get cast on Salt Lake City to now being housewives because you have, Heather and Whitney are like, we love each other. We found out we're cousins. We're
so good.
We're destined for love forever. And we're going to see a rift between them this season. And then we have Lisa Barlow and Meredith Marks. And Lisa's like, I love Meredith. She's so real. I love Diet Coke. I love Meredith. She's the best. She's so great. Oh my God. And Meredith's like, I love Lisa Barlow. And Jen Shaw loves her money. Mary Cosby's not back this season. We have these new housewives. Right. We know the blonde in the back was on last season. Remember the blonde in the back right corner?
I do remember her,
but I forget
and I'm trying
her
to
name.
think what she was. Now we haven't seen her. We haven't seen her this episode. We didn't get a chance to see Whitney. Now we saw Whitney, but Whitney looks really different to me.
Uh-oh.
Well, I just say no.
Is it
she
her
does.
big tatas?
Well, no, she always had those. But
she just got them a couple seasons ago. No, remember she got a boob job, and then Seth, Meredith's husband, wouldn't shut up about her damn boob job. It was creepy.
Right. That's right. That was creepy.
It looks like Meredith's chest plate has settled a little. I like it. Remember when it looked like she had a chest plate? Because I think early on when one of my friends got her boobs done, you have to like massage them. You have to do a lot of stuff because they have to settle.
Yeah. She had that pink swimsuit on when we saw Mary. Yeah.
It looked nice.
She looked more natural. And then I had to laugh because then we have Jen Shaw. She was in that same swimsuit that she was 2 seasons ago.
She was?
Yeah.
It was like a dress.
Well, it was all kind of a netting right here. And you could see.
Oh, I thought it was a different one. Okay.
No,
Angie Harrington Renee is saying that is her name. Is that the blonde Renee? Is that who you're saying?
Oh, okay.
And they're going to Scottsdale, which obviously Renee is very excited about living in Arizona. I used to live in Scottsdale. So I'm sure they're going to probably go to like somewhere in North Scottsdale, some kind of like fancy spa house, whatever. But I wouldn't be surprised if we catch them at clubs, maybe. Well, there's clubs in North Scottsdale, but in South Scottsdale as well.
Like Scottsdale, it was a little
right.
Yeah, it was nice. I liked it when you lived there.
It's a good place to go in the winter, like the ladies were saying. But we jump into this season and right away, Whitney, it was cute. Whitney's daughter was making a list, her 12-year-old daughter, about pros and cons about boys.
That was the best. And her name is Bobby.
Yeah, she's a cutie, the little redhead.
She is a doll. And she's what, 6th grade, did they say?
So she's 6th grade, but I did think that Heather coming in talking about, it was funny in your confessional to be like, take some of that stuff off the list. But when she said something about sex, like disappointed or so, I was like, Heather, the girl is in 6th grade.
She's in 6th grade. She hasn't even been kissed
yet. Calm it down, horny pants. Because then later she sees another one of Coach Shaw's friends who's a former Celtics player. He looked like he was built more for football to me, but maybe he's just been out of it for a while.
Well, I thought the same thing. Now,
right? Because his body type.
Right. His Celtics are, basketball, correct? Yep.
They are basketball.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm with it.
Our very own Kevin Garnett went there when we couldn't get any championships because the Timberwolves were just, they tried.
I really liked, I like Heather when she was falling all over him. Okay, we'll give her that.
She's throbbing. Like every time she sees one of Coach Shaw's friends, she's like, it is on. It is on. Yeah, she said, ugly sex will change your life. Like good advice, but also not to a 12-year-old.
Not to a 12-year-old. And she's kind of giggling. And then
she was doing the most. Yeah.
They hustled her out of there. They go, oh, come on over here. We'll go here.
They went to the bar. They had a secret bar that you can lock up, which is genius.
Called a
when you have kids.
Easy. It opens up. You push these.
But Nana, what do we know? Those kids will find the key, or their friends will, because that happened to you.
They've already been in there. Oh, yes.
Well, I hope not. She's only 12.
How old were you when you had that little party
14.
with the chip? Oh, 2 more years. Okay.
I put chips out. I didn't know. We locked the basement where the bar was. They found the skeleton key because we lived in an old house. Opened it up, and the rest is missing vodka history and creme de mint. They were so desperate and we were so dumb being 14 that the creme de mint was gone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, we had alcohol down there, but we also had the creme de mint, which is alcohol, but we used to make grasshoppers.
Yeah, that's more of like a liqueur. Miss T says, big baby to big daddy. Yeah. So we saw a flashback of her last season going out with his friend, Coach Shaw's friend, who ordered a cranberry juice and orange juice. And she was like, no.
I know. I felt bad about that. I remember that episode thinking,
yeah,
like him. You are not
like him.
yes.
Love
like
him.
Love
but no,
him.
she was a Mormon for so long. We also saw Whitney was like, I am. Apparently, listen.
I
Do
did
whatever
not
you
know
want
that.
religious wise, but I didn't know you
Neither
have
did
to
I.
sign your name to a book that then tracks you and follows you.
I know.
That
I kind
sounded
of went.
Scientology. And so she has to then go to like unsign. She has to like unsubscribe like you do from emails, which is a whole pain in the ass. She has to go to unsubscribe from Mormonism. Please don't follow me anymore. You can't get my money. And I don't care if I get my own planet.org. And she has to fill out the form. Then she has to print it, which who prints anything these days? And you could do electronic signatures. And then she's got to sign it. Then she's got to scan it.
Oh, I thought, okay. Well,
Make it into a PDF. It's a whole process in it. Email it back or submit it to the website. Stop following me. I don't want to be a sister wife and, wear jean skirts to my ankles anymore. I'm done. I got new tits. You don't want me anyways.org.
Well,
And
I thought, is she trying to get out of the Loan Depot? I mean, serious. This is big
what's
stuff.
the Loan Depot?
Oh, they send me stuff all the time. Are you looking for
the Home Depot?
No, Loan Depot it's called. It's like one of those places where you get a quick loan. Why are they sending me this stuff? I keep going delete. I don't know.
So what does she? Okay, so then that takes her name off the register, and Heather's like, I'm not ready to do that because remember her dad passed, and we saw it last season. Her going to his grave or having like a little service. Her mom doesn't talk to her. Will say this till the day I'm dead. The dumbest thing you can ever do is go buy any book or any man-made religion and alienate your own children. That if you believe in God, that's an act of God, then that this child, this miracle was born and came from your own body. The fact that these mothers and fathers are turning on their own children, either because a religion says you can't be gay or you can't drink or you can't do this, or because they don't want to believe in it. To me, that's the height of hypocrisy and so disgusting. Never pick some organized religion over your own children. That's horrible.
That is very scary.
And just look at how scared, Heather was.
Heather was so frightened.
It's like a cult because that's very cultish mentality. No disrespect to our Mormon friends out there, but this doesn't sit right with me at all. It's destroying families. And what kind of faith, I guess it's not a faith, it's a religion, would want to do that to people in the name of money, of what? Like, I feel like any religion that says your family members can't leave voluntarily and you can't still have a relationship with them if they leave, I think that's not something I personally agree with at all. I think that's disgusting. I would never.
That. And Miss T also said that Heather was scared and she was crying. She also mentioned that Whitney said she didn't think about boys until she was allowed to.
Yes.
What?
And that's just, what is happening? Why are we so okay with believing? What some man wrote in a book and told us to believe. Joseph Smith, I keep wanting to say Bermuda, but Bethlehem, even though Bermuda, beautiful place. Never been there.
You go.
his Bethlehem was somewhere in Missouri. It's similar to the I don't know. There's always some book written by men that then all of a sudden it's going to come in and people are going to disown their own. I just saw it on an episode of Survivor. There's this wonderful young man who is in his 30s, I think now, and his family, due to religion and stuff, completely disowned him for being gay. And it's just like, come on, pick your kid over the book.
Well, that's just it. And Sarah Smile saying it's like
right?
Christian people who kick out their teenage kids.
Every religion
come
somehow
out of the closet. A religion is supposed to be
this.
love and not hate. Yeah.
Right. That's why I always like Nana. Nana says, I have faith, but I don't prescribe or to organized religion anymore because they put these crazy rules and they try to, honestly, a lot of them try to control these families. And I don't think that's something that God or Jesus would ever be okay with, destroying families because of some arbitrary thing some random dude put in a book and some rule.
And we always, and it really for years I felt bad about not going with my religion, because it's ingrained into you that this is the one true religion while you're really little growing up. And then it was very sad. It was hard. So I can understand how Heather's feeling.
She feels guilt.
Her
family. She doesn't. Again, we're coming back to Beverly Hills, where you want your parents and your siblings, a lot of ways to love you and accept you and be proud of you, and you don't want to be this, person that is like shunned by your family.
Right.
But it's crazy what people pick and choose, because like Lisa's Mormon, just like Miss T saying, but she's drinking. But you're not really supposed to do that. So what happens? Are they going to take you out of the book?
No, I'm not sure. She got demerits.
And like DGF said, we're indoctrinated from birth. You have your baptisms. Before you can even make a conscious decision whether you want to join a particular religion, normally you're encouraged, your parents are encouraged, just like yours were, Nana, just like you were, to start your children with something. But a lot of times even doing that indoctrinates them to the point where, well, if you leave now, it's your soul. It's your relationship with your family. When I was sent to like CCD classes for Catholicism, I was like, this is bullshit. I knew it from a young age, but I was also very, very cynical. And my dad wasn't into it. And you were more so. And I was just, when I'd start asking questions, like, well, what happens to these people? Well, they go to hell. I was like, well, why? Well, because they did this. I'm like, but who says? I'm not talking about murderers here. We're talking about people that are, gay, someone that would have an abortion, things like that. And I'm like, that sounds pretty shitty. I don't want to believe that,
But I didn't say that. That's what you were hearing.
Nana said that.
I never would say that.
It was my teachers. I had teachers that said this, and I was asking questions because I am a difficult person. And you're saying it right. Not difficult. You always wanted the truth and you sought out the truth. There's nothing wrong with that. Me, I was more of a sheep, and I would just have soon you guys just go along with, what I was taught. I think my generation was more encouraged to question than your generation. So every generation progresses where, it depends on where you live. And it depends on if I had both parents that were like, you will be Catholic, you will not question. I probably would have been more scared to question it. But since I had a dad who was like, I don't believe that shit, and I had a mom who was like, I do believe it, I kind of was able to decide on my own. You guys let me decide. Hoped I went that way, but I was like, this isn't very fun. It was pretty. I like the wafers. The body of Christ sometimes was delicious. There was some, I talked about that one night. I don't know if it was with you, but sometimes those wafers were on point and sometimes they were stale. But sometimes I was like, ooh, that body of Christ is delish. And then you got wine. So good.
See, and I never got the wine. They didn't have that then, growing up from first through.
We were all, they did it? You didn't get the blood of Christ? When did they start this? Were they sponsored by a wine, like by Venmo or something? What happened?
We just didn't get it back in those days. And I'm talking, my first grade through 8th, we did not get the wine.
They gave it to my generation.
I know they did.
At baptism, they were like, want some Merlot? And I was like,
no.
But I feel like they baptized me in Merlot, and that's why I became an alcoholic. But I did follow certain Catholicism ways, alcoholism and stuff. But I remember just going, and then you'd be like, and I'd look around like, can we do this? And you're like, it's the blood of Christ. I was like, but now it seems gross because of COVID and stuff. And then they'd wipe the lid.
Oh, yes.
And some of those people were not chewing the body of Christ all the way because there was floaties. So,
okay. So
I don't know. Vanderpump Rose, that would have been delicious. I feel like the blood of Christ would be delicious. It would be the best wine. They could have upped their game. But it was real wine. It wasn't grape juice.
It wasn't grape
real
juice.
wine at the Sacred Heart in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Real, and I was like, and I kind of liked the taste. So that was like, ooh, this is a problem. Because I remember trying a beer for the first time. I was like, but that wine, I was like, and then I ended up being a wino. So I'm pretty sure the Catholic Church got me started on that. No offense, but
excuse me, kids. Excuse me for a minute.
You got the wine in school? I mean, that's pretty rad. Not like if I had a child, I wouldn't agree with that. But looking back, I would have thought that was cool.
Yeah, because when I was an adult, by the time all this broke, as far as priests that were shuffled around to different parishes because they were pedophile. That was the only reason. People say, well, if they could have had sex, that had nothing to do with it. If they were pedophiles, they're pedophiles. Not
you just got us demonetized for sure. You said pedophiles like 7 times.
I'm sorry. Pedos. I'm sorry.
No, who cares? I mean, it's so dumb. YouTube doesn't let us say actual words that happen in the news. It's so, I'm not getting one of those channels. It's like they got M'd. No, they got murdered. Like that's what we say.
Okay.
Patriotic says, I was raised Catholic too. I'm 59 and my CCD diploma is still in my house. I'm not practicing Catholic anymore. Nowadays I go straight to God. I got rid of the middleman. Yeah, you can go straight to God. You can go straight to, you can do lots of things.
I like
you
that.
You can believe whatever you want to believe. That's the beauty of
that.
it.
And there's some times when I have gone into the church, for a wedding, or usually it's funerals now. It was always a sense of peace for me. I don't know what it is.
I used to like
was a
midnight mass on like
oh
Christmas.
My gosh,
that was
Christmas
beautiful.
Eve. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Sarah says, try being Jewish. We have multiple ceremonies. We drink wine for each prayer. Well, now I can't because I'm recovering alcoholic. After a while, it's all a blur. We get our own glass though. That is very progressive. I like that.
That is. I like that too.
Miss T said, I went to Catholic school and my mother still has my first communion picture. I look like such an angel. You still do.
You still do, Miss T.
Still do look like a darn angel. So, okay. So back into this episode, we see Meredith is now so anti-Lisa Barlow. Nana, do you feel like after what happened last season, what Lisa Barlow was exposed of saying, would you, if you were in Meredith's shoes, would you be as mad as she is?
I would be more mad. You saw what I did. If someone just doesn't watch.
Watch your YouTube video. So if she said,
I would have gone ballistic.
I don't watch her YouTube video and she's a whore. She screwed half of New York. Her husband can't even hold a job. That's why they don't have a house. Her and her fake ass family. I mean, it's Lisa. This is probably a dead friendship.
This is a dead friendship. If they get back together, then I really do know that this stuff is garbage and fake.
How many times have you, behind your friend's back, said she's a whore, she effed half of this? I'm pretty sure I've been present to a couple of those times. I'm sure we all have. Said things. You have.
Sure. We've said things,
but you never think a camera's there. But if you truly, I feel like if it's your real friend, like I feel like you would never say, producer Linda's a whore, she did this. I've never heard you speak like that. So I feel like if it's someone you really love,
you don't say that.
You might go, you might say something, call her out on her name and be like, oh shit, but the Lisa Barlow had been, again, it's resentment. She had been holding that in for a long time and it needed to get out. But you do kind of feel that way about Meredith. I'm not saying you're right. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying if I was Meredith, I wouldn't want to be your friend anymore.
Meredith shouldn't be her friend anymore. I think that is just a done deal. And it's so sad because the guys got together and they go, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. We're still friends. I know our wives are going through a tough time and things like that. But there's the guys, they're still friends.
Well, Seth's also wearing a fedora, and Lisa Barlow's husband, Mr. Lisa Barlow, I can never remember his name because I don't even know if he has a name anymore.
Isn't it John?
Okay. Yes. John Barlow, him, I don't know. They're not even fully there. I think they're on edibles like Mauricio. Sarah makes a good point.
I don't
Jen
blame him.
has said worse about Meredith though. Oh, for sure. But I do feel as though Meredith felt like she was safe. And she said that with Lisa, or Lisa wanted her to be safe. But I think she kind of did feel like Lisa will always have my back. And so I think Meredith always knew that Jen's Jen and Jen's going to Jen. But there's something about Lisa saying and that Meredith cannot get over. I have to remember, how did I do my Meredith impression before? She sounds like, I have to work on it because I haven't seen her in so long, but she's just like, you said about my family. Okay, Lisa, you had a month to call me and you talked about my family. And Seth, did you get grape jelly? Who eats that?
Isn't that funny?
And Brooks Marks have been on a strictly air and altitude diet because that's for the family. Who eats ramen noodles?
He brought ramen. That always reminds me of college for you guys. I didn't go to college.
Ramen noodles, but Marks lives in high altitude and she has filler. If I eat ramen noodles for the family, I will blow up. I will be that's salt. It's so much salt, soft, that's the salt.
But Lisa says, I've eaten so much humble pie, I can't believe I still fit into this dress. She hasn't eaten any humble pie. She doesn't know how to apologize. She went to Heather. Heather, of all people. She can't stand Heather. She asked Heather to meet her for lunch. What can I do to get back in Meredith's graces? And she said, it's out there. Don't tell me you didn't say this or you didn't say that. It's out there.
She's like, I didn't here's what you have to do. I was so hurt. And it's like, you've said really bad stuff. Remember when she wouldn't even claim that she existed? When she goes and talks to, why did I just forget her name for a second? The Meghan McCain lookalike.
The who?
The blonde who she went to lunch with. Lisa Barlow. Heather. Okay. Heather McCain. When remember it was like took 2 seasons for her to finally acknowledge that Heather existed. She was like, I've never heard of her. And she was like, we went to we know the same people. I don't know her. I'm sorry. Were you at Taco Bell? But Lisa said horrible things. Jen Shaw said horrible things. Jen Shaw said horrible things about everybody. She said horrible things about Heather. Heather forgave her. Yeah. It's just like,
I'm sorry. This is not going to go well. It is going to go through the whole season.
It's going to be
of them not talking. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't talk to her either.
But listen, if Meredith does not show up, it looks like she's going to show up to these trips and tries to leave early, fire her ass. I'm so tired of these housewives. We talked about this previously, what Mary Cosby did and what she did. It's like, we're not going. I can't go. I'm with my family. No, you signed a contract. You have to hang out with these bitches, whether you like them or not.
That's right.
That's how it goes. So we're going to see Lisa Barlow and Whitney Rose team up, Nana. Are you excited for this team up? It's going to be basically them against Heather, Jen Shaw, and Meredith for her family.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one because Jen Shaw is going to be gone. And I don't know when during this filming.
Is she even in jail yet? Did she get?
I thought she was. So. Isn't she sentenced?
Google it. Well, she got sentenced. Jen Shaw. Well,
if she's sentenced, then isn't she in jail? I'm not sure how this works. I haven't been in jail. Of course, I'm not dead yet.
Well, Page 6 just said they had a story a day ago. Heather Gay is ready for Jen Shaw's sentence. I've had prison boyfriends before, she said. So I think she's waiting on her sentencing.
Okay.
But I think we talked about this before, but it was like last season that she was sentenced, or maybe it was more recently talking to just Bravo News, that she was sentenced to a certain amount of time, but she'll probably only do, okay, so Shaw's plea agreement calls for up to 14 years in prison and restitution of up to $9.5 million. The reality star is scheduled to be sentenced November 28th of this year.
Okay, so right after Thanksgiving.
She's still out in the world.
So right after Thanksgiving, and what takes them so long for this? You know,
COVID. I don't know. They always just say COVID. the covert 19.
So, yeah. So, okay. And Aaron's saying that also Shaw gets sentenced in October and November. And you're saying November, honey, 28th?
Yep, November 28th. And they say 14 years, but I think with like good behavior and the stuff, I think people were saying she'll be out in half that, most likely.
But then she has to make restitution for the
9-point-some million.
Okay. And that's why, this just drives me crazy.
She's 48. So if let's see, she goes to jail next year, and let's say she serves 10 years, she'd be 58. I mean, that's really not bad. She's getting
Does she have to
sweet deal.
Well, I think so too. She was another of those people that stole from seniors and other people. I'm not saying just
she stole
seniors.
From Nana. Just share your story, Nana. She called you and she was like, hey, what her people called you. They had you on a list. Like, would you like to continue your education? It's free. You can do it from home. And Nana said, okay, I'm bored. Send us your social. Nana sent her social, her weight, her birth date, her mother's social.
I will never send my weight. You can have my social security. You will never get my weight.
You'll never take my freedom. And she never got her free classes. They said she could get her doctorate. And she thought, I always wanted to go to college.
I always wanted to. I always think I missed out on something. I really did.
You didn't.
Well, you say that. Your brother says that.
You missed out on paying a whole buttload, and now allegedly Joe Biden's going to get rid. I still got a little bit of college debt because I did some grad school too. But like, how do I get emails, but I don't know what's real and what's fake, and how do we apply? And did it pass? And I gotta look it up.
It did pass. It did pass, and it passed up to 10,000.
I would love to
10,000.
That would take me completely out of.
That's what I'm saying. Make sure you check into that because that really is worthwhile.
Do you want to look into that in your retirement? You're probably bored and you would love to look into that.
Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you. We're skimming right over that, aren't we?
Oh yeah, thanks a lot. You should remove all the debt of school loans. Shit.
No,
the people who paid it get mad, and it's like, oh my god,
they
calm
do.
down.
It's like stop it. We've had millionaires and billionaires being let off without paying their fair share. And so you're going to do something for the middle class. Oh my God.
It's legit.
Let's not do that. Stop that.
Tuitions went up 500% since the 80s. Do you think that even salaries have that they pay you?
No, I wish that was the case.
Yeah, even Chell's dad, he's a wonderful professor. He's retiring, and he even notices that these tuitions are very, very high for these kids. It's just too much. It's like, why bankrupt them just because they want an education? That's so silly. Then if you don't want to have this kind of stuff happen, then make it more affordable to people.
It's so good for kids to get, come down off that debt. They're able to be people that can put their money towards a home, towards a car.
Nana, they want to trap you because then you are a cog in the system, and then they don't. You'll just be more desperate, and then you'll take whatever job, and you can't negotiate your salary. It's a trap. It's a trap. Don't even go to college unless you know exactly what you want to do. Price that shit out. You can continue your education on YouTube. There are so many videos. I've learned more on YouTube than I did a lot of classes in college. That's what I'm just going to say. It's a Ponzi scheme. Yes. It's crazy. They literally bankrupt you coming out. So there's no freedom. So you have to take jobs that you might not necessarily want because they only give you grace on those loans for so long. And then they're hitting you with them right away. And you start your life, your career in the negatives. I mean, how is that going to help anybody? That doesn't make any sense to me.
And it
all
doesn't
that
help
pressure.
the economy. It doesn't help the economy.
No.
If you have more money to spend, you
they
will spend it. Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
I believe that wholeheartedly. It's ridiculous. So anyways, back to, I don't know how I got there. I apologize.
That's okay. No, that was good. I liked it. So we'll let's see where it's 10:30. So I'm going to start going a little bit here. Okay.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up soon, but we did have, I love you, Tilly. Producer Tilly's like, it's time to hang out. Okay. So Jen Shaw's, since she had to downsize her home from 9,000 square feet to 4,000 or 4,500 square feet.
4,500.
Poor dear. She doesn't know she had to take the Shaw squad, had to kind of You know, she had to get rid of some of them. Coach Shaw, do you think, Nana, Coach Shaw is going to be Audi 5,000 the minute she heads to prison? He's going to give it about 6 months to a year and go, you know what, babe, I need more, and then leave her and go with find another lady.
Do I see that happening?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I have blind faith, and I think what's going to happen is he might check out other people. He'll be very discreet about it because that's the type of person I think he is. And he'll have his needs met, but will stick with her.
Oh, you do? Okay. So you think there'll be like an agreement, like, okay, don't embarrass me, but because there's been rumors, there's always rumors about the husbands.
Well, sure. I mean,
you know.
Right. And I'm not saying it's because he's a man. If he had gone into jail, of course, women don't think like that. Let me rethink that one. Maybe
women, I mean, we will date freaking serial killers in jail. So I don't know. And Meghan McCain needs to shut all the way up because she comes from the ultimate privilege and nepotism.
Please.
She wouldn't have anything in life if it wasn't for her daddy's name and her mommy's money. She does not know what she's talking about. Why anyone listens to Meghan McCain, I will never understand. She speaks from the height of privilege. She needs to shut up and sit down. This isn't about her. This isn't anything that relates to anything she's ever been through in her life. And when things are handed to you and very easy, of course, you're going to take that perspective. But try having an actual job, try having to earn your own income and not being able to use your daddy's name and your mommy's money. And then you can talk. But no, thank you, Meghan. I don't want your takes on the Housewives. I don't want your takes on anything. Okay.
No.
You can head over to Fox News or whatever. I don't even think they want you.
I don't think they want you. I think Fox told her to take a powder.
I'm so tired of when she was on The View those years. I'm just like,
you know, and that just went down. So now that's the one Barbara Walters was started. Was that The View?
Yes, The View.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See, and there was a time when I liked it way back then.
Oh, there was great season. I mean, when Rosie was on it, and
Rosie
Elizabeth Hasselbeck years, and then Whoopi coming in, and there was some great debates and just craziness. But again, people were like, poor little Elizabeth, whatever her name is. So,
Hasselhoff.
I think it was Hasselbeck. Not David.
Not David.
So she has to have this party. Why couldn't she have it at her $4,000 home? Square feet is a big ass house.
That's a big house. I just said that tonight. I said 9,000 square feet. Now it's down to 4,500, and she can't have the party at her house.
I think it's because
it showed.
Isn't as upgraded as when you see the other lady's house, you're like, ooh, this is views open.
It was gorgeous. Let's face it. That's gorgeous. But
Mm-hmm.
you're giving a birthday party for your husband. Coach turns 51. And I think
he don't
it's
even
wonderful.
like parties.
I know. I mean, it was so funny that they did the whole thing around a movie that he loves, and Harlem Nights.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked her, he said,
there's no people of color here.
Well, honey, there's no black people here. Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to
invite guys from your fraternity and family members, and then Heather, and that's it. But I mean, she invited the other women too, even Lisa Barlow. But I like that there was a scene so Coach Shaw and Jen Shaw always get down with the 90s moves. They were doing the Kid and Play when they were kind of doing their
I thought that was so cute. Like yeah, it was so
I wanted them to like touch back, and then spin around, but they didn't. But I think they've done that previously.
I thought it was really cute. And I thought when him and his friend were dancing, they looked really good, and they were doing some of the stuff from Harlem Nights, and I just thought it was very good. I loved it.
Yeah, and then she gave a speech. He got emotional, and they were like, "We love you, Jen," but this is before she took the plea, and I think people were disappointed that.
I suppose they were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I'm so upset with Erika and her deal, and not thinking she did anything wrong, and hoping her husband wasn't thinking that way, and it just happened to happen that way for him. Are you kidding me, Erika? Oh my God, stop it.
Oh yeah, when Erika had her therapy session with that,
please,
and the therapist Erika saw was she is a known like reality TV. We see her on all these shows.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then when she was crying, she was like, I'm going to wipe it this time. It was just a little contrived where I'm like,
it was really strange.
But I'm a victim too. Yes. And she's like, yes, Erika, you are. It's like, but first of all, speaking of jagged, we need you to recognize the victims, and then maybe we'll play into your little like.
Yeah.
But you've shown no sympathy, empathy, nothing. No one's going to. You're more interested in protecting Tom and protecting this whatever and saying the courts, the judicial system. We've seen how well the judicial system works for those of us who don't have money and how it tends to work in your favor when you do have money. So sorry if we're not like, the judicial system. Also, you could just easily say, I do feel bad that this ever happened. I did not know this was happening. But again, I think some things, there's obviously she has more involvement than she's letting on.
Absolutely.
Or there's something where Tom, if she says something, it'll implicate her more, or Tom has threatened something. We'll see.
Now, Vibe mentioned earlier, you just had something.
That this theme was crazy for mostly white people.
It really was. But Vibe also mentioned that her mom is a Scorpio too. I did read it before, and hers is like November 14th, I think she said. So Scorpio moms unite.
Scorpio moms, they never forget. And they never forgive.
We forgive. We do forgive, but we don't forget. So sometimes that is just a vicious circle. So anyway,
I love the promos they did for this. Them in the snowball. What are these called again?
Snow globe.
Snow globe,
beautiful.
They're great. But the party was interesting. We did see Lisa Barlow try to talk to Meredith, and Meredith's like, it's my family. You want to talk? Okay. And Lisa's like, well, not now, probably later. But Meredith was dragging her when she was talking to Seth. Meredith is now going to play you said stuff on me. Now I'm going to throw. I feel like Meredith is pulling stuff out of left field that we've never heard of. She's having sex to keep her tequila company afloat. They have a distillery in Mexico. Have they ever been to Mexico? I don't think they've ever been to Mexico. She cheats on John Barlow. Does John Barlow even have a job? And Seth is like, I don't know. And she wasn't just going for our family, Seth. She was going for the 4,000 people that you manage. Does John Barlow manage 4,000 people? I don't think so.
Isn't it
so it was a whole.
Isn't that something when you think about it? And they're just, they can be the best of friends, and now they're going after each other like crazy. I can only see to do that if one person has a podcast and the other one doesn't watch it. That's the only reasonable fight you should be in. So,
if one of them has a podcast, did you say?
Yes, and the other one doesn't watch it. Okay.
Nana and Colleen. But so she goes up to Meredith and she gives her a hug, and she's like, we'll talk later. Meredith's like, whatever, my family. And then she grabs Seth, and you can see John Barlow's like, 20, 30 feet away. And he's like, do I need to step in? Do I need to get her a Diet Coke with lime? What do I need to do? And then she's like, Seth, I'm very sorry, but I was hurting too. And Seth took it as like, you're not really apologizing because there's no buts in what you said about her.
Right.
From what you said about me and my family. And so then he came back with his fedora, and he's like, yeah, she really wasn't owning up to it. And Meredith's like, why'd you even talk to her? And then Jen Shaw's like, I can't even believe that. And I'm like, Jen, you have said, like Sarah Smile said in the chat, the most horrendous things about Meredith, about Lisa, about Heather, about Whitney. You've said all the stuff. So they know John Barlow by the name at Taco Bell. Yeah, they know him. He's very famous. He might work there. There.
Wasn't it Taco John's? We like those little Olays.
Potato Olays.
Call them? Oh,
Potato
my goodness.
Olays.
Oh, gosh, they were good.
Very good. So then Lisa leaves. She's crying. She's like, John, we have to go. I need a Diet Coke, and I need to go home. And I need to hit up Taco Bell for half a chalupa, and you'll eat the rest. And I noticed that there was someone sitting outside when she was walking out, because they had like that step and repeat that was flowers that lit up.
Yes.
And I liked that. And then the woman tried to pull out her camera. I saw her hit her video, and then Lisa was just going too fast because she was sad. but I thought, oh, you're trying to get a picture of this girl. It was
Oh,
very,
okay.
very
What is step and
interesting.
repeat? I'm sorry, I missed that. What
It's
that?
just like where you take pictures at parties, like a step and repeat. Like you take a step, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what that was. I thought it was
so
a
it's
new
when you have
dance
those like backdrops on like red carpets or at premieres or at parties where you can take pictures in front of, whether it has a logo or it has something else. They had roses and then they had like a neon light. I thought it was cute. Now, Jen Shaw said, I would have done this party very differently. I thought it was a nice party, but I think she would have had people out handing.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful how she had it done.
Mm-hmm.
And Jen Shaw, when someone's doing you a favor, don't say how you could have done it better. Sit down.
Don't bite the hand that feeds your felon ass. All right.
Yeah. Just Kelly saying, I was impressed with how Seth handled the conversation with Lisa. So was I, because he was doing the
nice
side plans.
He was trying his best
to Meredith.
Yeah.
And then he was trying to be nice and stuff. And he was just saying exactly, I think, what was in his heart and saying, it just was so hurtful. Just so hurtful.
Yeah.
And when he saw Meredith so hurt by everything that was said. So
yeah. So it's hard when the women confront the husbands, the other husbands, because I'm sure the husbands are like, what do I say? And now Seth, he doesn't have the greatest history talking to the wives because he mostly just talks about Whitney's tits, which is awkward and inappropriate.
What are you gonna
do? In this situation, I agree, just Kelly. I think it was I
want to talk about Whitney's tits. So what are you gonna do?
Well, Nana, you're a perv. You're gonna Google Bolo all night. So we know what you're doing later.
You know what? I almost forgot about. I have to write stuff down.
You better write that down because you are going to forget. But yeah, he did, when Meredith's like, why'd you talk to her? It's like, well, what's he supposed to do? What's he even supposed to do?
I know. Why did you talk to her? Dear Lord, she's right there in his face.
Right.
And she says, can I hug you? And that was very awkward. It was one of those.
So awkward. She wants it. Lisa's the type, she holds things in and then she blows up. And then she hopes people don't hear her. Normally they don't, but she was mic'd.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I got it out. She's a dirty bitch and a whore, and I'm better than her. Let's move on. But this time she got caught and she wants to just, it to go away. It's not going to go away, unfortunately.
It's not going to go away. This is going to go all season. All season.
Yep. All season we're going to have fights and things and stuff is happening. And Heather's going to get a black eye and they're going to Scottsdale. I'm looking forward to it. I would rate this first episode of Salt Lake City. I know we haven't done this in a long time.
Oh, we haven't. I love that.
Excited for it. I'm going to give it a solid 7. Let us know in the chat what you guys would give it, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because I was so excited to see them again. I kind of forgot about how that whole thing went down, that she was screaming stuff out from another room. I forgot about Lisa doing that against Meredith. It was so good. I loved it. So yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, you guys.
Renee, what does that mean? Is Nana going to diddle to Bolo?
Because last night Chell was saying diddle, for sex.
Oh.
When Nana's going to diddle, she's going to do the diddle.
I didn't know what that diddle.
Man, I can see if I want you. There was a song in the mid-90s. It was do the diddy diddy if you want to, because then I can see if I want you. And so I think diddy was sex, but I was like 13 when it came out. No, it was Paperboy.
Was it
the rapper singer?
Okay.
No, it was the doing the ditty. So I don't really know. But really that high, I might actually. Well, we might just be excited it's back, Nanya. We also have horrible taste, so I don't know if you should follow what we say. But I like that.
Follow us right down to the T's.
I like the way they produced the episode, and that. Oh, let's go back to when they first started, because now we're in season 3. And you see what they say and you see their relationships and how much they've changed and how much they're going to change again this season. Now, by episode 3, we'll probably be dragging this show and saying we hate it. Maybe not. But
I don't think so. I really don't, because this is season 3. So here's Nana with her good math skills. It showed back in 2019, 20, 21, 22. That was the first season. I was so excited that I figured that out all by myself. Yes.
So true. So maybe it's because we're just getting sleepy, but I liked it and I'm excited for Salt Lake City.
I am too.
Steve Haynes is excited too. So I say give it a watch, see what you think. Try to stick with us for the first couple episodes. If you don't like it, that's okay. Okay.
Lazy
So
Buddhist. Anything without Renegades.
Right?
11 out of 10 for me.
You
I
don't
love you.
have to deal
I
with
love
the
you,
winner.
Lazy.
So that's nice. Yeah, thank you. Miss T says this has the potential to be a really good season.
I think
hopefully
it does.
doesn't get drawn out.
I really think it does. And then we could just watch Coach and we don't have to see Jen Shaw. That's okay.
Coach Shaw. Nana, put your boner away.
Sorry.
All right. You guys, thank you so much for joining us, Nana. It's good to have you back on Married to Bravo. I will be covering
nice to be back.
Potomac, which starts in early October, and I'm actually going to be covering. I'll be putting out a thumbnail and probably in the community tab to get you guys excited for it. I'll be covering it with my friend Shauna Christmas, who is a hilarious comedian who also loves Potomac and Beverly Hills. And I said, well, I already covered Beverly Hills with my mom. Would you like to cover Potomac with me? And she said, I'd love to. So we are actually going to be watching it Sunday night. And then we're going to go live, hopefully right after the West Coast airing, because we're both in the West Coast. So that'll be fun because I didn't cover Potomac last season. There's just so many Housewives to cover, franchises. And so it'll be fun to cover it with someone I haven't covered it with before and a fellow comedian. And you guys will love her. I think you've met Shauna before.
Trying to think. At you have Mermaid. A lot of friends. I don't know all these.
But she's hilarious, funny, and she has started her own YouTube channel recently. So if you look up, I think if my mods could drop a link, but I didn't really give you a ton of information. But Shauna Christmas, SHANNA, but I'll be promoting her YouTube as we go because you guys will love her commentary. She's fantastic. So I'm excited to watch Potomac too because that's one of my favorite franchises. So yeah. Does great. Nana's Bush have a name?
None of your business. I'm not saying it's none of your business. That's who's asking it. I think we should have a contest.
Name Nana's Bush. What do they get for a prize?
I'll come up with something.
When does Jersey start, Melissa? Because I would like to cover Jersey. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver because I got to cover Survivor now too. And I'm just like, I need like a team. I need can the Shaw squad, since they are unemployed or going to jail, can the ones not going to jail, can they come help over here? We need some help.
I want to say, because
I try to get Nana to do all this stuff with me. And she's like, nope,
I love you. You know I love you, and I do. I get tired.
She wants to have a life.
Ta-da! No, there's a lot of things happening. We're getting a new roof on Tuesday.
How exciting. A new roof, Nana.
I have to go walk around the whole house and just get all the stuff off they told me to get it off the walls and things because we're getting siding too later on. But the roof
siding from Sears. That's all I ever remember. Siding from Sears. DGF says you could name her Mystique.
Oh, I like
Nanya
that.
says Sparkle.
Oh, Sparkle. Oh, I like that.
Oh, February, then I think I'll be able to cover it because I don't think they're going to do a Celebrity Big Brother. So, yes. Aaron says, P.S. Chell made my night last night. Well, I will let him know that. He'll be happy to hear that. Yes. Can we name the new roof?
We can. We can. Mm-hmm. We can name anything you want. I think the plant's name, the
Roberto, the roof
should be Bolo. Okay.
Bolo. Nana's plant is Bolo because it's always flourishing and
and
big.
Name the bush Barbara. Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Name it Barbara
Bush Barbara. I like that. Barbara
Bush Barbara after Barbara Bush, but Bush Barbara.
Renee's
always very clever.
Not crazy about the husbands or the sons of that. Her husband or son, but loved her.
Oh, you love Barbara Bush, huh?
I thought she was just a great first lady.
We learn stuff all the time about Nana. Well, I love you, Nana. I'm glad to have you back.
You too.
And producer Linda and friends, hopefully you guys have fun on your trip. Shout
I
out to
hope
the
you guys
mods,
do.
everyone
Yes.
that gave us love in the chat, super chats, like this stream, or if you subscribed, we appreciate you guys. I do have some gifts that I have to recognize in my next live. Such fun gifts.
Okay.
And gifts for Tilly. So I checked my PO box. And I was really excited about that. So
that's so nice. Yes, it's so nice that people do
Bolo
that.
in the box. That's what Nana's, because it's a bush. It's her box. It's Bolo in the box. So there you go.
Bolo in the box.
All right, Nana's getting down. We'll see you guys very soon. Remember to enjoy yourself, because why, Nana?
It's later than you think.
Bye.